Cobra just completely turning it off, destroying everybody, just outplaying everybody in one-on-one duels, and it's up to Zipnu and Cobra for the final kill of the league.
5 hours later.
And Zipnu, he has no glue wall, so he has to outrun this, but man, it's hard to go uphill against the blues on Cobra. He's gonna peek his head up, but he's not taking any chances. Zipnu actually sees his legs, but he's not taking the shot just yet. Cobra now goes for the swing, but he's not gonna get the kill. Drops the glue wall once more, 7 more to work with, and Zipnu is gonna play that healing game.
Approximately 10 hours later.
But it's not gonna be easy. I mean, that blue zone is making life super hard. They still have a bit more time to work with, but Cobra gonna use his last nade. That one goes wide. So there's still a very intense Wild West showdown, but it is time to see who is the eventual victors. Cobra has the high ground, but Zipnu has the vision. Cobra still running circles around him. Zipnu is desperately trying to get the kill, and he finisher. The rest of SAF, they're scrambling to get to safety. Damon is trapped, but he does get a knock on the way out.
Hajim goes down. Cobra manages to eliminate.
Adakah akan mengatakan itu? Wah, itu dah knock itu. Adakah?
That blue zone is gonna start. Everyone else and turns it into a 5 race taken.
New kill leader right on that point. Bayats is looking to just fight this one out. Rin is trying to do what he can. Bloody Heart Mark is just trying to turn this one up. X-Spot does get the knock onto Bayats.
Hello everyone and welcome to the MCP Majors Season 2 Grand Final. That's right guys, we've waited 2 long weeks for this and it's finally time to see the top 12 teams battle it out for that first place. Oh, Paula, I am so excited. I don't think we're going to have to bother introducing ourselves. I think everyone's already seen us, enough of us. They want to see more of the teams, but I have to ask you, Paula, how are you feeling today for Grand Finals?
I'm ecstatic. I'm excited to be here. We've been waiting so long for this. Not only did we have to wait 2 weeks, but we also went through a grueling, 12 play days? I mean, that's pretty crazy in and of itself, and I'm really excited to see exactly what's going on. But let's invite the cast in, the casters that are Husky and AJ, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion in terms of how this league is going on with Season 2, but let's invite them in right now. How are you guys doing today, AJ and Husky?
Oh, fantastic, man. Husky, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. I felt like it's been way too long, but it's finally happening, and I'm just here to see who is gonna win the whole thing by the end of it.
Man, so it's Grand Finals, guys, and we've got 6 games with our top 12 teams. I hate to say this, right? But who are we cheering for today? I know we're all gonna be cheering for different teams, but does anyone want to start the jinxing party?
I'm here to support my fantasy team. And the problem with my fantasy team is it has got players from 4 different teams. So maybe I'll name you my players instead, right? I'm looking for McRory, I'm looking for 4X Spade, I'm looking for Zapnu as well as Ramiel. So I've got SAF, 4X Men Expert, ITX as well as PXG in there. These are the 4 teams I'm looking out for.
I feel like you're kind of literally on the fence with all 4 teams. You're picking everybody out there. But let's see a quick little introduction of what we're actually fighting for. So here's the trophy that's going on. But what about you, Husky? What are the teams that you're looking forward to in this Grand Final?
I think stick with my during the last week I did mention that I think Tactical Intent is the one on my list, We have PXG Radicals. These two are probably going to be the two teams that I look at throughout the entirety of the day. By the way, that's a really amazing trophy, and perhaps one of these teams are going to lift it by the end of the day.
Why am I the only one impressed by the trophy?
I like the trophy. I just didn't say anything.
I was looking at the trophy. I was looking at the trophy, and I see the names of the teams that I am cheering for on it already.
Okay.
Already,
I don't know if you've just cursed them or what right now, because that seems to be a little, a little ahead of yourself, so to speak. I mean, we have 6 games to play today. We're going to see what team actually does pull away with it. But to put those two on a pedestal already, I think that's a little bit early, Husky.
I have confidence, I have been going on a near 100% curse rate, and I think today is the day that I break the curse. And today is the day that I flip the script, that I forge a new destiny for the teams that I'm cheering for. I have faith in them.
I think this is just another curse. To be honest, I think this is pretty common for the panel, right? I mean, generally speaking, whoever we cheer for, they don't tend to do very well. I want to break the curse too, but then I'm also scared to mention who I'm cheering for.
I don't know. I seem to be making the right bets, man. Remember, there was one point of time where all we were looking was at SAF. And I think it was, 3 weeks ago where I said PXG, they might just catch up. And by the end of it, they managed to overtake. But I've got a main question here, whether or not it was SAF holding back, towards the end of those league stages, just so that they don't seem that big of a threat. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. I mean, PXG had one of those insurmountable comebacks. I mean, it was pretty crazy, right? In the sense that SAF were actually 92 points ahead of them, right? And this is day 8. So the fact that they actually surpassed them, they took the first seed in style. I mean, they're 24 points above them. And so now we've got, the top 4 teams are going to qualify into Free Fire Asia Championship. This is a big one. So while technically we have 12 teams here, we have a clean slate. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to do this. All you need to do is, yes, you get the first place of 15,000 USD, but you now want to get into top 4 to get yourself into that Free Fire Asia Championship here.
Yeah, so I think this is something that the teams are also going to be gunning for, right? Like, if you don't make it to top 1, fine. At least make it to top 4, because then at least you'll be able to go on to the Asia Championships, which I think this is going to be, I would say this is a bigger thing than the first place. I'm not sure how you guys feel about this, but being able to represent your region at the Asia Championships, I think this is a really big opportunity to really put your team on a pedestal and prove that you could be the best team in Asia.
And so, I mean, yeah, yes, top 4 is going to be great, but you're only going with USD $2,000 in that 4th place position. 3rd place, 4,000, 7,000 for 2nd, and 15,000 USD. That is a lot of chalupas that you can buy from that, and that's going to be really great there. But at 5th through 12th, yes, you're getting a little bit of money, and you're going to be knocked out. But again, I think the biggest thing is making sure that you're into the top 4. You want to play for the Asia Championship. There's going to be more money, more stakes, better teams from through all the different regions. So it's going to be very exciting to get into that next level.
Hola, can I ask you, what's a chalupa?
Chalupa? All right, I'm sorry. I probably have you been to Taco Bell? Taco
No.
Bell, they have this, okay, basically it's like a soft taco, but they fried the outer shell. And so it's just like a type of food, and I think they made it up, but apparently, it's a very niche food, because if you don't understand what I'm saying, then we got a problem.
It might be because I don't really get that much access to Mexican food, but that's fine.
Okay.
At least we know the teams are going to be able to buy a lot of chalupas with the prize money. Regardless of moving away from chalupas, we're going to take a look at the point system very quickly. For people that didn't tune into the broadcast during the group stage, okay? So point system is relatively the same, right? First place, we're going to be getting 12 points. So if you get that booyah, you're going to be getting a solid injection of points towards your team. And then as you go down, you get 9 points for 2nd, 8 for 3rd, 7 for 4th. And as you go down, you get less and less points. The danger zone is bottom 2. Okay, just because this is the grand finals, teams cannot afford to get 11th and 12th. And the reason for this is that you get absolutely no points for finishing last 2. You can counterbalance this with kill points, but I don't think we've ever come across a situation where a team can go beyond the middle of the pack with kill points after finishing 11th and 12th.
Yeah, you're going to have a bad day, especially since with the fact that everybody's playing, it's all 6 matches, right? The teams are not going away. If you're getting eliminated early, yes, it will hurt your chances. You probably won't end up in the top 3. I'm going to call that out now. Any of those teams that do poorly and do get eliminated with that big fat donut, so to speak. But we're going to look at the schedule today. It's going to be 6 matches. Bermuda, Kalahari, Purgatory, Bermuda, Kalahari, Purgatory. So we're just going to change it up. We're going to see all 3 different maps today. So it's going to be a wide variety of different games that are going to happen. And of course, all 12 teams are sticking around. 6 match. This is a group.
Yeah, right. Because some of these teams, they managed to have breaks. So teams in Group A and C, these guys would have a break, right? I think Group B might not be too bad, but I think Group A, I'm wondering how the teams from Group A are going to be able to adapt to this, because 6 back-to-back games, not only is this going to be mentally taxing, but it's also going to be physically taxing, since we're not really looking at too many breaks, right? Since everything's just happening like bang, 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 bang.
And here are the 12 teams that survived the entire league, 12 play days, and we're down to that one. And I mean, if you see this list, this is a murderous row. We've seen SAF just take it up a notch. PXG overcame them in the end. We're seeing Blacklist International, Fast Kill. All of these teams are high level. Tactical Intex, not to throw them under the bus, because this is a team on the rise as well. Argon Malaysia, this is my favorite going in. This is the rags to riches story. This is the team that started, the league. Like literally they were 18th. Okay, they got 3 points in day 1. They had 1 placement point, 2 kills on that disastrous day. From that day forward, they've been one of the hottest teams going in, and they made themselves a name for themselves as they're in 9th place going into this one. But we've got a clean slate. Every team has an opportunity now.
Actually, speaking of another team to look out for, I know this team wasn't so far down the leaderboard, but I think Fastkill MY are going to be coming into the series as well with daggers in their eyes. I think we did see this team really pop off during the last couple of weeks, so I think if anything, Fastkill MY is also going to be on my radar. I'm wondering how Bloody Head is going to be coming into this as well, because this team, I know AJ is cheering for Bloody Head, but the team can be a little bit wonky, right? They can have really fantastic days, and they can just have absolutely terrible days.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, another team that, like, of these 4 teams here, SAF, we've talked about these guys.
Yes.
They probably shouldn't even be on the leftmost side, because they're not even first place anymore. This is a team that was struggling in the end. They really did suffer. They had some disastrous days. The past 3 days, they scored 22, 17, and 27 points on the final day. They have not done well. Something has, they've been pretty much been found out. The other teams have figured out the kryptonite in terms of how to just destroy this team. PXG Radicals have taken that step forward, and they've moved on. Argon Malaysia, I talked about them. They're already 9th place. But Tactical Intex, this is another team that did have some early struggles. They were 11th place going all the way back into week 1. Now they've managed the way all the way back into 3rd place, right? They average a play day of points in terms of 44.4 points. This is a team on the rise. Tactical Intex, you gotta watch out for these guys. These guys are killers.
So now that we're looking at the grand finals as well, right, we need to also remember these teams had 2 weeks to prepare coming into the grand finals. And I'm wondering how much this would have impacted some of the teams, because I do feel like some teams perform better when the games are just happening week by week, right? Because you're in the mood, you've got this meta going, you've got your own groove going. Are there any teams that would actually suffer from a 2-week break? Because I know these teams do not scrim with each other. I think only a few of them do.
I highly doubt it's going to affect them at all. I mean, they've been preparing for this all this while. They've taken all of the weeks where they were jumping into the games. Some of these teams, we clearly saw them going in with some experiments. I still think that SAF was holding back in those final few games within those weeks itself for the qualifiers. So maybe we will see me being proven wrong, but I think SAF should bounce back today. But just like what Hall has said, right? Argon MY and Danny, you mentioned Fastkill MY. I think these 2 underdog teams are going to be rising up to the top. Although I don't really feel like Fastkill MY is like the underdog as big as Argon MY.
No, absolutely
but,
not.
In terms of consistency, they've just been up and down.
And this game has been nothing but consistency, right? You're seeing those teams rise to the top. It's the cream at the top, so to speak, and they figured it out, right? And I know that we kind of look down upon the word, that C word, so to speak, but it is a big testament of these teams, and that is the biggest, in terms of just how these teams play and making sure that they're in the money, so to speak. But Today is going to be a little bit more than consistency. You got 6 days. We're going to have to figure out exactly how you're going to rise to the top, what you need to do. Is it going to be the teams that get all the booyahs? PXG have gotten 11 throughout the league. That is the most. Is that the team that's just going to be guaranteed in, or is it going to be more of like one of the other teams that are just kind of rising up in terms of the kills? Husky, what are your thoughts on that in terms of what team you really like?
I think for PXG, they had the most booyah, they had the most miraculous run, but you give teams like SF a week's worth of break. I think PXG Radicals, they're not going to have a clear shot of winning this whole thing, but they definitely have solidified their chances, right? Just because they show us how strong they are. But I believe we have something else for the viewers, and it's the giveaway items for CCV, our concurrent viewers.
The image is a little bit off, but 35k views, we get the bronze altar. I want to hit 45k views because I think as excited as the one who made this graphic, I'm excited as well, right? It's for that glue wall. I think this is the very, very first time you're seeing something like this, guys, the Ferocious Ink.
I mean, it looks great. I'm going to be honest, I prefer boxes, okay? I want the Dragon AK box just because I like opening things. But we do get that reward at 30k views. So this is just a reminder to all of you guys, we do have these view milestones. So essentially what's happening is that as more people are watching the stream, you guys also get rewarded for it too. So make sure you share the stream to all of your friends, make sure all of them are watching, because as we hit these milestones, you guys are going to be able to get some fantastic goodies. So make sure to share, don't forget, because of course we're going to have a lot of fun here with the grand finals. We also want to make sure you guys get your little goodies as well. So share the stream, okay? Don't be greedy. Everyone gets it. It's not just you.
Yeah, and sharing the stream is one thing, but of course we're going to be giving out those codes. Those are going to be all available throughout the stream. And from what I know, you need to redeem it during the stream, and we're going to only go till about 3 hours into this one. We've only got 6 games, so you make sure that you do get those codes. Share it with your squad mates, your mom, dad, your dog, whatever it takes. Let everybody get that. Make sure that they do get those codes. But going back to the teams, we've got the final 12, right? If we're looking at this in terms of like Bloody Heads and Woos, this is the 11th place team, 12th place team. They kind of limped into this one, this grand finals. Are these contenders? Do they have an opportunity? AJ, what are your thoughts on that?
They are definitely the contenders for spoiling the rice bowl of the big teams, man. I feel like they are capable of doing that. Bloody Heads, you're right. They limped in, to the top 12. They've not even had one of those booyahs so far, and I think that's a little bit of a testament to how ferocious they are and how hungry they are in this competition. Even without picking a booyah up, they're still alive and kicking. But I don't think we've seen them at their best. This season's not going to be it. They will be able to do a little bit of damage. Once again, like I said, spoiling the rice bowl of those at the top. But I don't think they're going to be bagging anything big from here. Hopefully in Season 3, though, Holler.
I remember AJ, you used to be like one of the biggest advocates for Bloody Head. What happened?
I still am. I'm a bloody advocate for them absolutely wrecking others' chances. Them not being able to pick a booyah so far, them not being able to, bring in that horrible C word into games back to back, is my main concern. Not just a concern, but it kind of shows where they stand.
I have a feeling they might prove you wrong today. I think this is a team that is just... I think they're going to prove us wrong. I don't know. I have this funny feeling that Bloody Head's just going to show up today.
Yeah,
they will. They will.
I was thinking the same, like what if today it becomes the day that the team like Bloody Head, and they just straight up win the whole thing. I mean, we have the top 4 goes to the Asia Championship, so even if they don't win this whole thing, if they even qualify, I think that would be a great achievement in itself.
So we're going to have to look into this one. I mean, we've seen, there are teams from the Philippines and Malaysia in this one. Yeah. Is there a home bias for anybody? Is there somebody who's thinking, is there country pride? AJ, what are your thoughts? Are you going to go with the Filipino team taking the booyah for this one? Or is it going to be the Malaysian team?
I really, really pay no heed to that little flag beside those team names. I have always paid attention to, whichever team that can go out there and make whoever that partner we have here during those shoutcasting moments to make sure they give us fun times, right? And I think each and every single one of these teams in the top 12 has given us those moments. So I'm really not leaning to anyone. I'm just gearing up to be absolutely wrecked by these players. I've not made any assumptions so far as to who's going to be picking that number one spot. And you're right, Holler. I've been iffy with that pick, right? Because so far, none of these teams have really stood out to me because they have all equally impressed me.
Well, good news for all of our viewers at home. Looks like game one is ready. So let's jump into game one of our grand final today. It's going to be on to Bermuda. And as always, the wonderful Adrian Husky, take it away for game one.
Thank you very much to our lovely hosts, as always, Dana Lee and Holler. Game number one for the grand finals, AJ. We have waited more than a month for this moment, and it is time for us to... You said you are an advocate for a team like Bloody Head, spoiling the fun for everyone else. You're an advocate for the champions, but touch your heart and answer this question. Who do you think has the best chances of opening up game one with the Booyah?
SAF, man. I've got my money on SAF. I still think they were holding back a little bit, but PXG Radicals as well, they've shown us at the very end they can rise up. So they might be the contender in that final circle, but I'm banking on SAF to take that first Booyah just to put everybody else on notice, Husky. I think that's very much needed, and that happening will wake the whole competition up because everybody has noticed that when they allow SAF to pop off and run away, those boys definitely run away. So I'm looking forward to the competition just being set up in that way.
Yeah, and I guess that's a very fair assessment, right? I mean, SAF, sure, they got overtaken, but we cannot disregard the fact that they were the one who set the standards for the competition, right? They gave the team like PXG Radicals kind of an obstacle to overcome. And yes, PXG Radicals, they managed to do that, bagging the most Booyahs in a single league stage, setting a new record, in fact, compared to Season 1, and in terms of total Booyahs and total points. I think almost more than 100 points, in fact.
Yeah. I think, all of these teams, right, they have had all of those weeks to go in here and prove themselves. But I also feel like some of those teams, they already knew the top 12 was a situation they can guarantee for themselves. And they wanted to go in and practice. They wanted to go in and pull off a couple of cheese strats in some of those matches where we saw the horrible C word pop up, where, some of these big teams, they were just falling. But I feel like all of those experiments are going to be paying off in this grand finals. Like you said, like we've been discussing since this kickoff of the show, 6 solid rounds in here, 6 opportunities for them to go in and pull all of those strats off. And here's what I mean when all of these teams definitely have grown, all of their testings definitely have, gone in here and bore a little bit of fruit. Early game, no takedowns whatsoever. 12 teams still alive and kicking.
Yeah, and I guess, when you start out the grand finals and you only have 6 rounds to really prove yourself, then, starting slow is not too bad of an idea. But I do wonder, though, how long would it take for someone to finally pull the trigger and be like, you know what, I think we've waited long enough. It's time to cause some chaos, right?
I think you're getting exactly what you're asking for, Husky, because, just at the borders of Observatory, it's going to be the players from Views, Auto Knockout, deep inside of Observatory already, looting up everything that they can. We can see those medkits as well as Glue Wall. Rosso X, just 1 nade in his hands. AKO, they definitely will be looking for more to bring into that final circle later on. And those early takedowns, something they definitely will be looking out for. And, just to jump back to your point, right? How soon will it be before we see that first engagement? None of these teams want it to be soon at all. Everybody's gunning for that final circle battle because I think over the past 6 weeks, it's been proven you take those early engagements, even if you are an amazing team like PXG or SAF, the probability of getting taken down is still in the 50-50, especially if you're just gonna fly in and it's gonna be Auto Knockout that takes the firing against ITX. It's gonna be Trix, beautiful time turner, but Glue Wall response from Trix, goes behind Rosso X and knocks him down onto the ground, and it's ITX that will strike first. Zapnu manages to go in for the knock on to Taken as well, and it's gonna be Auto Knockout on the back foot from the early set.
Yeah. And Deco definitely won't be able to make it out, and he, in fact, will be the first one to lose his life. I mean, Auto Knockout tried to take a fight, but on paper, they kind of lose good, right? They were the first one to run straight into ITX. Not really sure what was the situation at that point of time. It felt like AKO wanted to start a fight, but at the end of the day, it was ITX who retaliated. AKO, sure, they were the big bullies during the group stage, but this is grand finals. ITX had time to prepare, and across the 6 weeks, they have been catching up every single game. So AKO got a taste of a very bitter medicine right there, and is in the form of tactical index. They're not out just yet, but the chances of getting more points has now completely dwindled to almost 0% at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, surviving into it, that final zone probably can get you something, but we all know exactly how those placement points are in Free Fire. In MCP Majors, Garena wasn't really kind in that setup. Blacklist International backing away in towards the factory as 4 X-Men Expert try to close the gap between themselves and the players of Blacklist. It's not going to be a early engagement. Factory will be taken over by the players from Malaysia.
Well, one thing that is more exciting, I suppose, about this first match is throughout the entire group stage, we hardly got any initial circle that is in this form, right? It's more southwards. So I guess, for the grand finals itself, the game decides to give us something more challenging, give the teams something more to work for. Although we spent the entire league stage building up AKO Legends, one of the teams that basically it was previously known as Legend Rumble in Season 1. They now play under the banner of AKO. I would say compared to Season 1, they definitely show a lot of improvement. In fact, I think it exceeded a lot of our expectations considering what we've seen more than half a year ago. But right now, this opening feels like we're back in Season 1, where this team just could not find their footing.
Yeah. First round, unfortunate tactical index. They are on form, like you said, Husky. They week after week, they've been finding that rhythm in these matchup. Auto Knockout, on the other hand, they've just been that team that has been with us for a long time within the Free Fire journey in itself. And I feel like all of their experience will shine through later on. Argon MY taking the fight against the Almighty. Let's see if or not they will be able to take this fight. It's going to be JZ firing back. But as for the rest of the players from the side of Almighty, they should be able to take the flank and punish Argon MY. Sparks is coming in a little bit closer as well. Too close for comfort, I believe. Now, the setup from the rest of the players, I wonder exactly how fast it's going to be, because it doesn't seem to be the case of a flank. The one player from Almighty is kind of stuck in that one spot, not moving.
Almighty is the team, I think, out of the entire grand finals roster that I'm most worried about. Sure, we had teams who barely just crawled in, with 8 of 9, their 9 lives expended, wheels that they hit. And sure, Almighty, they didn't finish dead last in the top 12 at least, but I still worry about them the most, because Almighty have felt super lost since the group shuffle. And up to this point, it felt like they have not been able to find a footing at all. We keep talking about how Batman went from a stone cold hitman to a pacifist who hardly puts on any numbers on the board for his team, despite him being one of the figureheads for Almighty. So this is something that I think Almighty would need to, surely have found a solution to over the break, or else this grand finals is never going to go in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I understand exactly where Batman is coming from, though. He's a superhero. He's not supposed to be killing people. He's supposed to be sending them to jail. So it's that personal conflict that he has within himself. So it's absolutely understandable. Do easy, though. Facing off against Argon MY, they're not going to be able to pull this backstab. And Argon MY, they seem to have the better positions in here. The best situation that I can see unfolding for Do Easy is they close this gap in, and Jembol tosses those nades in through. It's going to take out 2 players on the side of Argon MY easy, and Do Easy will be able to journey on in towards the next zone. Just the 2 of these teams, just towards the outside of Pochenok there, so I don't really feel it's going to be a huge trouble for Do Easy.
This is very close to it, and once more we see PSG Radicals in the center alongside with Wheels, alongside with Blacklist International. Almighty is also close to that area, but PSG Radicals has shown us that they know how to read that circle. By some, whatever skills they have and whatever abilities that allow them to correctly predict the circle, I think it's been working out. They just have a good read of where the circle is potentially going to end up, and they always find themselves in the center. But they're also one of the teams that are not afraid to be in the middle of, in the thick of things, and take on multiple teams because they're capable. Speaking of that, this is going to be a big fight because PXG Radicals, their first opponent is SAF, the team who was once in first place, but Tanamo will make that a null factor because he's already down 1. Let's go, let's get the trade back, but our 14 now chips in. SAF that made so much enemy across the group stage and everyone is out for blood. PXG Radicals, they do lose Ray Mia from the get-go. Insanity still on the ground thanks to Let's Go, but with SAF and Wheels on the horizon, this is going to be very messy because Blacklist International is taking on Wheels on the other side. Doozy, they're about to crash the party as well.
This is messed up, man. I'm so mad watching this fight. I had my money on Ray Miel within my fantasy team, and the guy dies in the first fight of all. Come on, Ray Miel. But it's all right. 5 more rounds to go. Oh, Barba taking those shots against Bias from the side of Do Easy. Pulls out the glue wall in the nick of time. And PXG not going to be able to take them out just yet. Daymoon behind the glue wall. Just, playing it a little bit safe. Although I do not see exactly how this particular position he holds on to is anywhere but dangerous. 4X-Men Expert approaching the players of Tactical Intex. How will this fight now fare? 4X-Men Expert, the team that I definitely have had my money on from the start of the competition, has had a lot of competition coming through from the side of ITX, who've just, come through with consistency week after week after week, just taking those fights well. But ITX now dropping 1 player. Nate's back to bat. Vyets will be taking Sparks down off screen, and 4X-Men Expert, they back away, and Jabat will not get taken down.
What a
and
nade.
he's suckering the rest of the players. Beautiful back-to-back nades being dropped by 4X-Men Expert.
And with that nade, I think this fight is already over for Tactical Intex. They have to fight this 2v4. There's a swing from Jabat. He's already getting that 1 trade. This exchange is going to go in favor of 4X-Men Expert regardless. They will just overwhelm Tactical Intex. And again, in the back of spaced effort, that double nade, they close out the fight in almost a flawless fashion. Sure, they lose Jabat. Could have been slightly cleaner. But at the end of the day, it was what matters is the fact that they get a almost flawless wipeout. But for Tactical Intex, they are the second team to get knocked out. The first one was Wheels, thanks to Blacklist International. We know that Blacklist International, even from Season 1 when they were still known as Baby Argon, when push comes to shoves, you can always rely on these guys to make those plays, to make that first move and win the fights. And they have shown up. Down to the last 10 teams, we are in phase number 3. And this is just going to get more and more messy. I mean, you look at AKO Legend, they only have Nga left alive. He's not going to be joining any fight anytime soon, so we can count him out at least for now. But Argon MY, they did not make contact with Almighty early on. With this circle, though, they will have to face Almighty once more.
Yeah, let's see if or not they will be able to take this fight on well. Almighty, they can gatekeep the rest of Argon MY. But for G-Knock, they should be able to play all of the spaces within here. But AKO Legend, unfortunate for them, Goku puts the final bullet in Nga's head and takes him out of the equation. It's going to be Argon MY backing away. Almighty spotting those players out. Let's see if or not Batman can hit those shots this time round. I'm curious as to which side of Almighty are we going to get for the first round of the Grand Finals.
And I sure hope that we get the Almighty that we saw in the first 3 weeks of MCP, because that Almighty was definitely Almighty. The Almighty that we saw in the second half, not that mighty. A bit underwhelming. And Jay-Z is going to be the first one to kind of lose out that gunfight. And with him now, look at Argon and why they are not taking prisoners. They're in fact going for the rush. Sparks already downs Batman. And Batman not able to contribute anything to his team in this scuffle. In fact, Argon and why they're already at the doorstep of Almighty. I don't think Almighty is waiting for this. They're just going to bust through the glue wall. There's 4 glue walls in a row. Then Argon and why just push through. Ren is from behind. But that kind of protects everyone from Argon and why. Sure, Ren goes for the exchange, but it's way too late. Argon and why pull the trigger and they clean up Almighty.
Oh, this is definitely a great team to keep your eyes on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And I guess we have our answer, Husky. That's the kind of Almighty we're facing this time round. But Do Easy now, taking that fight up against Argon MY. A double nade being pushed through. God. Pedro gets taken out. X2 are deleted by Bias. 3 nades back to back. And that's the way Do Easy wants to finish this off. And now they go in for the fight. Just like Argon MY busted all of those blue walls down and took down the players of Almighty. Do Easy will show them exactly exactly what that feels like as Argon MY gets a taste of their own medicine.
And Do Easy was the team that Argon and Y tried to avoid, but you know what they say, the past always catches up, and Do Easy did not let that go to waste. We only have PSG Radicals and SAF in the middle of that circle. You know, Bloody Head still hanging out at Mars Electric alongside Fast Kill Malaysia. So this two team, they're definitely gonna clash. Forest Men Expert coming in from the west side though, so Bloody Head will be the center point of this compound. But if you want to make a direct entry into the circle, I think Fastkill NY has the best chance. But it seems like Forest Man Expert, they actually made a pit stop. They didn't want to go into Mars Electric. In fact, splitting up the squad, getting a bit more info. Rival is the one who is alone, but Mark, he's already made contact with Forest Man Expert, so this fight is inevitable.
Yeah, even if Mark goes in there for the knock, it's not going to be too much of an issue for them to pick each other up. I love the whole coming through from 4 X-Men Expert, going in for a 2-2 split so they can back each other up regardless of the... Goku running through, Cryfu taking those shots up. Spade might get knocked down, but they're playing the terrain to their advantage, using the tree to the best of their ability to block some of these shots. And I feel like 4X-Men Expert will not be too pressured, as Bloody Heads, they themselves will try to sneak in towards the next safe zone. Fastkill MY on towards their right, so Bloody Heads cannot take any of these risky maneuvers. But look at 4X-Men Expert and their courage. They are all wide in the open. Technically, they don't have much of a option. Morgana now getting knocked down. Manflag will go in for the knock against Ivan as well. It's going to be Do Easy taking the fight up against Blacklist International. And Clanks will get knocked. The delete coming through. Manflag right behind. Bias! Almost getting it, but the glue wall being pulled up by Manflag in just the nick of time.
Nate.
But the nade should get it done. And yes, it does.
And my god, Do Easy, they just do not give any room. Spade does steal that kill away, so Manflang not claimed by Forestman Expert instead of Do Easy, but the damage has been done. In fact, Do Easy, I thought Blacklist International was going to be the more patient one, waiting for Do Easy to run into the circle and take them out halfway, but no, it was the complete opposite. Blacklist International were the ones scrambling for the safe zone, and they ended up losing 2 members. Sure, there are still 2 more of Blacklist members alive, but now, Do Easy, they have that advantage, they have the numbers, they're about to rush straight into the center, and that's where PSG Radicals will be the next point of contact for these 2 teams. Look at where Forest Expert is. They're already coming around from the outskirts. In fact, they're now closest to the circle. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, as they have already out in 7th place, as Do Easy will follow suit, thanks to Forestman Expert, and that wraparound was absolutely perfect.
Oh, absolutely, man. Now 4X-Men Expert trying to get in towards the next zone. Mars Electric is going to be the place where all of this action breaks down. PXG just sneaking in as well, making it through. Just got picked up, tries to recover, but gets deleted by a well-placed nade. PXG, what a beautiful play by Thermo. Pulls out the grenade launcher and snuffs out 4X-Men Expert. And now we're left with 3 more teams. Basketball MY, Bloody Heads, as well as PXG. Can Bloody Heads pull off their very first booyah in the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, after not being able to strike all through the group stages? This will be the best time to pull this off, but Tanaumo is going to be an absolute pain with the grenade launcher. They need to take out PXG, and they need to do it now, Husky.
And this is going to be very close because the grenades are flying through. In fact, Fastkill and White, they're the one caught in this crossfire. The grenade launcher is being pulled out. Bloody Head getting absolutely wiped by Fastkill Malaysia, and this is going to be crunch time. 8 kills for PXG. Can the grenade launcher work out? PXG Radicals, they're going to go straight in, and they've done it for the first booyah of the grand finals. PXG Radicals, they were the one caught in the middle. They were the one fighting 3 teams at once, but they are the one who still outlast everyone else despite being at a disadvantage. And this is why PXG Radicals ended up in 1st place in the group stage. And now they will start the grand finals with the first booyah.
Ah, congratulations, PXG Radicals. Hey, you know, this was such a tough fight that they took. Early on, meeting SAF, almost taking each other out, and then winning that particular battle. But the problem was that a lot of those other teams had already surrounded the compound, and they had to just play sitting ducks. And they waited and waited. Thankfully for them, SAF were the ones that got caught. They played the circle much, much better. They sneak into the final zone as well and get that win. But goodness me, Husky, before we continue on, let's bring our host right back in here. Danny and Holla, welcome back.
Wow, that was a really masterful display from PXG Radicals. These guys came into the final circle with 2 members. They lost half their squad during the middle of the entire game, and they still managed to get the booyah. Incredible.
Grenade launches get it done, man. Holland.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this guy was on point. I mean, the fact that, like, you know, and I hate to say this, but AJ, you were talking about your fantasy all-star team, and you kind of left out Tanamo, and he got a little angry because he got 8 kills on that one. That is a monster game by Tanamo.
I'm still angry with Ramiel for dying early in that fight. I mean, granted, yeah, they took it up against SAF, but he shouldn't have died, man. My hopes of moving all the way through in my fantasy team seems a little bleak now.
Yeah, absolutely insane game there. And for X-Men Expert, they put up a good fight. There were just so many little minor fights that were happening. Like you saw Argon Malaysia, they picked off Almighty. They got that nice little ambush there. Then Dooeasy came out of the blue and just took them out. So this is like the life of a battle royale where, hey, this one's doing well. Your foot off the gas. You always need to be careful there. But Husky, I know that you saw this one. What were your thoughts on Dooeasy kind of third partying that one?
I think Dooeasy did a great call, right? They did see Argon Malaysia early on. Argon Malaysia dodged them, but they were still within close proximity of each other. So I think when they realized that Almighty has been taken out by looking at the kill feed, they were like, yeah, I think we can take that fight simply because Argon Malaysia had to recharge. So these kind of third parties are the best because you literally lose nothing in the process. And I think Dooeasy did a good job. They even managed to, I think, catch Blacklist International while they were trying to move into the circle. I just wish that Dooeasy did a bit more than that, but nonetheless, it was a pretty good start for this team.
So I actually wanted to quickly talk about Bloody Heads because this is a team that's been off the radar for the entire season, right? Yep. These guys haven't gotten a booyah. And then on grand final third, like, what happened to Bloody Head today? Like, why are they playing so well?
Not surprised. I mean, this is the Bloody Heads that we've been, watching all throughout the competition. They can get up to the 3rd spot. It's not the first time they're doing that. But picking up the boo, yeah, man, come on. They were so close. But I don't blame them. You get into that final circle. Fascal MY definitely, they were hungry. And they were looking out towards the left as well. Tanamo, he did have the grenade launcher. And they didn't know exactly how much of ammunition he had left on him. And they allowed chance to get to them. They allowed Fascal MY to kind of open up that battle against them. And I feel like they could have taken that a little bit more aggressively. And if they had done, their chances would have, definitely shot up, Danny. I want to see more of that aggression.
Yeah. By the way, AJ, I think Bloody Head is trying to tell us something. He's trying to give us a sign. They are trying to show Almighty how to be a pacifist the proper way. Because I think Bloody Head got 3rd place without getting a single kill.
Ouch. Pain, very pain. Sorry, Almighty. But Batman, man. Batman's the playmaker. If Batman can find his form for the side of Almighty and start opening up these matches, I think they will be able to kind of stand a better chance. But Almighty needs to learn a little bit from Dooeasy as well. Always open up with the nades.
I think one of the biggest problems Almighty is facing, and is still facing right now since the group shuffle, is that they don't have anyone in particular that can, step up. Let's say, for example, PXG Radicals. Let's say Ramiel has a bad day. You always have Barba or Tanamo to take on that position. But for Almighty, it always feels like we're looking at Batman or Ren. Like Jay-Z is the entry, but his entries has been pretty underwhelming for the past few weeks. Batman is definitely not having a good second half at all, and it feels like there's no one else from Almighty that can take up that spot and be like, all right, you can take a back seat, let me pull the weight. It just does not seem that way.
Now we're just going to take a look at the round standings very quickly. This is just for round 1. We've got 5 more games to go, but as you can already see, PXG Radicals off to a phenomenal start. They got 12 from the booyah alone, followed by 11 kill points. And this is simply the first game. Now, something that I find very, very interesting for the grand final weekend as well, right, is that we have 4X-Men and Dooeasy coming in 2nd and 3rd. Now, 4X-Men, they've just been sitting in the middle of the pack over the course of the season. We don't really see too much of them, but I have to say, for them to suddenly show up on grand finals, have you guys managed to pick up on anything that 4X-Men are doing differently coming into the grand finals? Because we're always talking about teams saving strats and whatnot. So what's different from 4X-Men in the grand finals compared to the groups?
Absolutely nothing. For me, they've always been my favorite team. Yeah, I've always absolutely loved 4X-Men Expert. From FFMC, they showed us that, they were a little bit of a late riser. They came to the party a little bit late, and they couldn't really bag much from there. But in MCP Majors, they started off the competition really hot. They started off really strong. And then they kind of waned off towards that mid-segment of the competition. And now Grand Finals, they're showing up, they're kicking off strong. They've got 6 rounds, they've got 6 opportunities to prove themselves, and they opened up the first one well. I hope the Malaysians get to continue this sort of a pressure, because we always know in the fight for supremacy in the world of games, the Philippines always knows, or they always bring that supreme power, especially in mobile FPS, right? So teams like PXG Radicals, SAF, they will be giving these Malaysian teams a run for their money. So teams like 4X-Men Expert, they cannot bloom late. And I think they're starting off great.
Yeah, I honestly think if 4X-Men Expert didn't run into a grenade launcher from PXG, they probably would have had a chance. If it's not them, then it could have been Fastkill MY hands down.
Yeah.
Just because I do think they had a superior position or slash numbers towards the end, but obviously PXG Radicals, this is why they are the best team right now, right? I think it is appropriate for us to kind of put SAF on that second place and push PXG Radicals up there, simply because of what we saw just now. SAF, they were off to a very rough start. That cannot be denied. They didn't had to just fight PXG. Wheels also decided that they don't like SAF, so the public enemy number 1 in the grand final. So it was a rough start, but through all of it, I think PXG Radical just looked way stronger to start off the day.
Hard for me to agree to that 100%, right, Husky? Because at one point, don't forget, SAF, they were like the gods of the MCP Majors. They had pulled away so far that it looked like it was impossible for any of these teams to touch them. And even PXG Radicals, who were fighting for that second spot at one point, they weren't even in that second placement just yet. It just looked like, it was all going to just be for that fight for that number 2 spot. No one's going to be able to touch SAF. And yes, PXG managed to get that done, but let us not forget who was the first man to put his foot there on the moon. And I feel like SAF will be able to strike back. Once again, for a lot of these teams, this is just, match number 1. Consistency is key. Yes, in the grand finals, we'll bring out that one again. 6 matches, let's see if they can do it again. I think SAF will pop off in the second round.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that. I mean, considering the fact that SAF, they haven't had the greatest start. I mean, again, they're just kind of faltering in this situation. But it seems like, even when we were doing the estimates and, the call outs of who's going to do the best, we all picked our own team. SAF was not any one of ours, right? We saw Husky picked out Tactical Intex. What did they do? They ended up 9th place. Not so great. But mine, on the other hand, was Argon. They got 7th. Not so great as well. So I'm kind of in that boat. So if we're talking about Danny's, her call out was with Fast Kill Malaysia. They got 4th place. What was the insight? What told you that Fast Kill Malaysia was going to have a fast start like this, Danny?
I think it had to be their performance coming into the final weeks. Like, this team really just popped off during those final crucial weeks. Like, they didn't have to play for placements because they were basically guaranteed grand finals. But just watching them play, it just sort of gave me this confidence to know that this team is going to be a very strong contender coming into the grand finals. So for me, it was just like that last boost, right?
Yeah. If I may chip in as well, the kind of fast kill MY that was losing matches were the ones who were taking 3 vehicles, zooming around the map, looking for kills. Yeah. As long as they don't pull, crazy stunts like that, they're always going to end up at the top. Remember, guys, the inconsistency was absolutely painful from fast kill MY, because one point they are fragging 13, 14 kills out there on those maps, and then the second round they are like in the 11th place, 12th place, just because they got a little overly aggressive. And I feel like in the grand finals, we're not going to see an overly aggressive fast kill MY, which I'm excited to watch in action.
Right.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have match 2. This is going to be Kalahari. We're going to go into this one, of course. We're going to go straight. We've got 6 matches in total, and this is going to be the second one going in. Husky, AJ, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Holler. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, second matchup. Let us know exactly who you think is going to be able to reach up to the top. And on that note as well, don't forget, we have got those giveaways. We are trying to hit the numbers in here. 30,000 CCVs. That means concurrent viewers all throughout our broadcast. That will unlock the first giveaway for the Dragon AK box. Husky, do you think we've hit the 30K yet?
I think we have. Remember last time we had the CCV target as well, I believe, during the for FFMC. We hit that in 3 rounds. So this is just round 2. I think we are getting there. I think we can definitely hit that target. No problem. The community has been amazing. Just to follow up with the closing points before we got into the game just now about fast kill and why we have to take a blast from the past, right? Because this fast kill felt like the fast kill that started off the first day of FFMC, and only the first day of FFMC, because they went out the gates, guns blazing. They got like, an insane 26 or 28 points on the first round.
Correct.
And that was it. But that was the thing that was lacking was consistency. But right now, I think we're seeing that same fast kill with consistency. So that is probably the best upgrade that this team could have ever asked for. You're totally correct. We're not seeing the fast kill that drives around in 3 cars and just get blown up for no reason at all. Now, if they drive cars, they're performing drive-bys instead. So I'm loving this team so far.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aski. And as a matter of fact, the thing here is they're not hitting as many of those 16 kills, 14 kills, which some of their fans might be disappointed with, because that's what Fast Kill MY is all known about, their absolute aggression out there on the battlefield. But I love that, right? Because it shows that they are a little bit more conservative. Yes, they are picking up fewer in terms of numbers, but as long as they can make sure they sneak into that final zone, be in that top 3, and maintain these average numbers, they're going to be a very, very happy team at the end of the day. But on that note, PXG Radicals, they're kind of splitting away a little bit too far in this confinement. I kind of hope Almighty does not get the catch on them, because we know if Batman has got that sniper on him, he will be able to take those dangerous shots from afar.
I remember there was this one round towards the tail end of the league stage where, Almighty, I believe it was Batman, and I believe it was PXG Radicals on the other end. And Batman just watched them all pass by, and he didn't even take a shot. And then someone else from Almighty decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself, and they got wiped by PXG. I specifically remember that. I think it was Purgatory, and that was one of the most tragic moments for Almighty. And we joked about how Batman was going through a very rough time, like emotionally, or like we made what was it, a Margaret joke or whatever. But that is, I think, something that Almighty is still struggling with right now. Hopefully,
I think that sadness for Batman has just turned into depression at this point. And that's why sometimes we see him hanging out on rooftops, just not shooting anyone, just chilling around. But jokes aside, man, I hope, Batman, they kind of, Batman as well as Almighty, they kind of find that stride once again, because when they really start hitting, and surprisingly in the MCP majors towards the end, they actually did start shining. But yeah, man, that bad C word, that inconsistency. The fact of the matter is, they don't have 100% trigger discipline based on the example that you just gave. And I feel like that has been fixed a little bit towards the second half of the group stages, but not entirely just yet.
Yeah, I feel like, they are trying to tread on that fine line of, picking the right fights and just not picking the fight at all. In fact, I feel like they're way too disciplined with the trigger. And sure, in some situations, like in this case, if you're in Cobra's shoes, you probably don't want to take the shot unless Phoenix is the one who does it. And Tactical Index, they're caught right out in the open by none other than Blacklist International. They have that blue wall. In fact, they're going to double down on that with the time turner. Now they need to back off. As long as no one gets shot now while running away, then ITX should be fine. And that's exactly what happens. They are in a safe spot, at least for now.
Let's see exactly how much of damage Cobra can, bring forth onto the players of ITX. As ITX backs away, Zapnu should be able to take the long shots. Cobra, sharp eyes, just trying to take down the glue wall, should be able to knock down Shad, delete it as well. ITX not going to be, very happy with that engagement at all.
And neither will I, because right now I'm going to be blamed for ITS getting knocked out. And I might not see them.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I might not see them in the Asia Championship. So, it's a lose-lose situation for me. In fact, I think, sure, you want to get that first place, or get that juicy prize pool. The least that a team can get, if not first place, could be just top 4. You want to qualify for the Asia Championship. And that itself is enough. It's the bare minimum. But even then, you need to outshine 8 other teams. ITX, they've shown very strong performances towards the very end. It did take them a while to get to that point, and I'm starting to get worried that maybe there's just not enough rounds for them to do so. But Zimno, he's gonna prove me wrong. He takes out Phoenix, at least bring him to the ground, but Blacklist International will immediately get the revive. In fact, they will heal him back up, inject him with a couple of doses of medicines. ITX, they managed to make the retreat.
Yeah, smart plays coming through from ITX. They back away. This is not the kind of fight they want to take. And you know what? I disagree with the notion that you bring teams bad luck, Husky. I really believe that, all of these teams, they're tuning into the broadcast and they're listening to our words. Because some of the adjustments that they've brought in, there's no way these guys are not listening, man. And I feel like whenever Husky calls anyone out, they get a little overexcited. The legendary Husky is banking on us to win. And that's exactly, what messes things up, right? They get a little overexcited. They step into some of these fights that they're not supposed to be going in with the aggressive engagement. And unfortunately for them, they get punished. But I really like what they did there with Blacklist International, right? They backed away from that fight. And earlier on, we saw PXG bag it with just 2 players. With 3 players, I'm pretty sure ITX can at least, to the very least, sneak in to that final zone. Barbado from the side of PXG, eating a couple of bullets from Multi, backs away. Bloody heads, really challenging a couple of teams here.
Yeah, I think Ren was taken now. I believe it was by one of the members from Do Easy or Bloody Hit. But again, thankfully for Almighty, this time they were able to bring him back up. Though I'm not really sure how I feel about the teams getting excited. It feels like I'm putting stress on these guys, which is not really my job. I don't know if the stress ends up in them performing worse. Then I feel even worse. Thank you, AJ. You're giving Holler a lot of ammunition to use against you.
Oh well. I tried, man. Bro. Well, no humans out there on the battlefield, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for understandable reasons, even on a map like this, which is super surprising. I mean, we kind of expect more than 2 or 3 teams to have gone down by this particular stage. But, views from the back, Blacklist International, they're just going to be sneaking on in. Let's take a look at the next zone. Blacklist International, they don't really have to move around. Bayfront in front of them as they, continue on their path. They're not going to be really finding anyone just yet. So let's see whether or not Almighty finds a couple of heads and makes them, drool a bit or ooze with a little bit more blood.
I'm slightly worried for Almighty because they are not a team that deals well when they are surrounded when they have to take on multiple fights at once. And the position that they're in right now is surrounded by multiple teams. You have Bloody Hit on one side, I believe. Just now was it Do Easy? But they have like 2 or 3 teams around them. PSG Radicals is on the eastern side. They were moving into the center part of the circle last we saw on the map, but at the same time, behind them was SAF. So it felt like SAF, they're gunning for PSG Radicals. Mark does take a couple of shots back. A bit of a exchange between him and the members of Almighty. But this is where Almighty shows their true self. They don't really like to move a lot. And maybe I guess Bloody Hit is okay because Bloody Hit are also a pretty passive team. Now they just have to pray that no other teams drop by, no teams like Fast Kill MY or Do Easy, because these guys, they are just going to run at you. Orlon MY, they have a clear way in if they want to, so they should be fine. PXG Radicals Barbara getting caught by Amber Lore, and here comes Wheels.
Oh, Embalore just jumping on in for the delete animal right below. And Embalore, he knows exactly how expensive this kill is. And he moves straight on to cash it in. It's going to be Thanamo right down below. The rest of the players from the side of Views now backing away as they have managed to jump on in, punish PXG. And that amount of money that they've managed to bag is enough.
That is actually such a good play. I mean, Embalore, he gets the kill and then he backs off. You hardly see a team go in for a pick-off and then be like, you know what, we're going to do the bait and switch. But this is the first time I see this from Wheels, and I think it is an absolutely wonderful move. They're not giving PSG Radicals any chance to retaliate. They're covering each other's backs. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the Wheels that is finally stepping up to the occasion. Normally, if a team gets the kill, they're going to like, all right, guys, we got one guy. Let's charge in. And sometimes it does end up in a tragically. But Wheels with that, quick in, quick out move, they got a kill on the strongest team and they were able to get out unscathed. Shock though, not so lucky. SAF, they're about to run into fast kill.
Yep, SAF, they've got the compound. Ali, what is he doing so up front? He is going to get knocked down, and if that knock does come through on Ali, which it has now, the rest of the players from the side of FSK, they will have to go through a lot of challenges just to go in here for the pick. Nades flying on through. SAF right in front. Let's go. Ali now taken out. Yoon, he ran straight into trouble, and now that guy's going to get taken out as well. SAF, what a play. The nade coming through from Monito proves to be absolutely no help at all. But Yoon now should be able to capitalize. Dream Moon right in front of him. One shot away. Let's go might get taken down. Those nades not being played.
Wow.
Yoon and Monito getting knocked down. This is all over for Team Fast Kill. Shark all alone, but he's gonna get knocked down as well. Fast Kill Malaysia eliminated.
Yeah, and thanks to Bloody Head as well, who decided that they are going to finally get a couple of kills for themselves. That's 2 for Bloody Head so far in this round. They helped SAF take off Fast Kill, although I think SAF would have done fine without Bloody Head. But in this case, any assistance is welcome. Blacklist International are about to take on Argon Malaysia. This is a very important fight. Not so much for Argon, but more for Blacklist International. Do Easy on the other hand, they're hiding underneath Refinery, and on top of them, that's ITX.
Oh, absolutely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't forget, as all of this action popping off on screen, you guys help us, man. Help us share the stream out as many times as you can. And don't forget, this is the English stream. You can go in and share any of the other languages on any of the other platforms as well to help us drive those numbers up, because I am definitely looking forward to all of those giveaways. I'm waiting for those codes. I'm definitely waiting to redeem my Ferocious Ink Blue Wall. It's super rare as Nell getting taken down by Bias from afar, gets knocked off screen. It's going to be Aoki as well as Alforte, deleting the players from Blacklist International. What a play coming through from the side of Views, as well as they take the fight against Argon MY. Pedro gets knocked down and then deleted as well. Tactical Index eliminated. All of the fight breaking down all at the same time, Husky.
Yeah, Almighty, they're finally making the move. In fact, they're taking out the members of Do Easy. This gatekeep position is perfect for Almighty, and I don't think Do Easy is gonna find it easy to get into that circle at all. It's a 2 versus 4 affair, and Almighty, they have the entire area on lockdown. So Do Easy, there's no way for them to sneak through. They gotta take this fight. Batman, he has that vector in his hands, but Ren is the one who gets a couple of shots. Shah doesn't get the exchange though. Ren, you gotta land those bullets. Bias will have some time to heal back up, but Shah, he's about to go in hard, and he's the only one alive. So you go for the secure. The nade just fly in, but it's not enough to take out Shah. So Almighty, they're down to this tree and Do Easy. They're not afraid to take this fight. In fact, they're actually gonna try and push Almighty out of that compound. They have the rooftop control. Batman with the double vector is hiding on that ground floor, but we'll see if he is able to do so. Blacklist International, they're eliminated by AKO Legend. The nade is flying from Baez. That one is gonna go a bit wide. Jay-Z now goes for the P and catches Baez at the perfect moment. Almighty, they spring the trap, and Do Easy, they're about to get caught, and Shah will be the only survivor.
Yeah, that was badly played from Do Easy. They got a little bit too greedy, and now Views with just Aoki left in here will get eliminated as Auto Knockout steps in to clear the house with 5 kills on the table and 4 players still alive and kicking. AKO look good to pick up that Booyah shot lead. Bloody Heads on the other hand. Monty gets knocked down onto the ground, trying to take out 4 X-Men X-Men, but this seems to be a very tough fight, and from afar, it's going to be one and only Mark providing all of that backup, but with a 3-man setup going through on that fight against 4 X-Men.
Oh my God.
It proves to be absolutely solid as SAF stick their noses in and eliminates them.
Oh, when Damon pops off, he goes wild. The entry for SAF, sometimes we criticize him a lot. Why does he run into 10 guys and thinks that he's Ip Man and can take on 100 of them at once? But when he performs at his best, Damon is that entry that you need. He is an absolute madman, and sometimes you need that madman to make those kills. Almighty though, stepping up to the occasion and eliminating SAF, but I think SAF have done enough damage and gotten at least decent points. Argon MY also getting picked off by Almighty as they now rise to be the new kill leader. Grenade launcher once more in the hands of Talamo, and you know what that means. PXG Radicals, they're about to come in and try to take the second round.
No, do not kill bloody heads. Do not. Oh, Mark almost getting taken. Oh, pulls out a beautiful glue wall onto his left as well. And Dynamo understands that, you know what, this is a fight that's just not worth it at the moment. Let's go and focus our efforts elsewhere. It's going to be the players of Auto Knockout on towards the right. Almighty right in front. And bloody heads, they've got the best position of all, except for that final zone, which will be going in and closing on them first. As for the rest of these players, Almighty slowly trying to close this gap. Mark actually takes Batman down. Can he go in for the delete as well? He's getting too cheeky. Almighty! Almighty eliminated! And Mark gets a double kill for Dynamo! Punishes Mark!
And it's a great launching for Tanamo once more. PXG Radicals are gonna do it again. 2 in a row, and that's 2 out of 6 for PXG Radicals. They got the first one, they got the second one. I believe at this point, PXG Radicals might as well be gifted all 6 booyahs because these guys are so good at the game. That's 2. That's 2 already for them. You can see how happy they are. They know they've made it. You know, even though they have not guaranteed first place, they definitely have at least guaranteed a spot to qualify for, you know, Asia Championship. I know it's early to call this out, but I mean, it's PXG Radicals, right? What else can we say?
Exactly, man. Congratulations, PXG. But Mark, you my MVP, man. You're my personal MVP. Bloody heads all the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So let's welcome back Danny as well as Holler, our amazing host. Disapproval.
I mean,
I'm not disapproving. I didn't think PXG would be able to get 2 back-to-back booyahs. I thought that they would maybe drop out as one of the last few teams, but I did not expect them to be the final team to get a booyah again.
I mean, they had the most amount of booyahs in the league. This is why this team is here in their first place. They got, 599 league points. This is ridiculous, right? Yeah. This is a team that was on fire. They're going to continue to do this, and they prove that they are the best team here. Prove me wrong, right? In the sense of, like, is any team able to just kind of stand toe-to-toe with these guys? I don't know at this stage. It's been about 15 minutes in, and they had only 2 kills at that point. Yep. I don't know how many they got in the end, but they're just have, the survival mindset, the fact that they were down a player and they were still able to get the booyah. It says a lot about this team. This team is really here to stay. We're going to definitely see them in Asia Championship, especially with the 2 booyahs back to back. But man, I don't know if any team can really stand up to these guys. AJ, any team that kind of sticks out that maybe has a chance against them?
Okay, saying bloody heads does, might be pushing the boundaries a little bit too far. But I feel like, just like how SAF kind of ran away with those matches in all of those weeks, and PXG kind of caught up in those final weeks. Granted, not as many matches, but things can still turn around. We've got 6 games in here. PXG have proven to us that they've got exactly what it takes to move in there to that final circle. And teams like, teams that usually do hit the mark, like Tactical Index as well as SAF, they seem to be struggling a little bit extra. So I'm expecting that hustle to come out, and the consistency definitely will go down on the side. But even as I say that, man, even if they pick up those placement points, it should be more than enough to buffer them up. So it's going to be tough, Holler.
Okay, I'm going to stop the conversation here because I do have an announcement to all of our wonderful viewers. We have hit our 30k milestone. Ding, 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 ding. So if I'm not mistaken, that does mean that everyone is going to be gifted some Dragon AK boxes. Yes. So congratulations to all of you guys for making this possible. Now, that's not going to be the end of all of our milestones. We still have, I do believe, our 35k and 45k. So if we can get those 2 milestones as well, that would be picture perfect. So make sure, share the stream to your friends, share it to everyone that you know. Let's hit these milestones today.
Yeah, we're hitting milestones so fast. Last time it took us, I think, 3-4 rounds, but now it only took us 2. I think we're getting there. I think we will get there by the end of round 3. But last MCP made won the entire grand finals, got 3 out of 6 booyahs. Yeah. And I think PXG Radicals are about to set a new record again because they are now 66% there. Now they got 2 out of 3, so they need 1 more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that note, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are absolutely amazing, man. Just like what Husky said, we are hitting these milestones so fast. But we've got 2 more milestones that we are gunning for in here. The 35K as well as 45K. I've got my eyes set on the 45K. Not saying that I don't want the first 2, right? The 5 times Dragon AK box. We have hit this already. Thank you so much. Although I'm casting, so I don't know if I can redeem it or not. But the glue wall, all right, the ferocious ink, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So I will definitely appreciate it. To all of my friends watching from anywhere, I mean, I don't know if I want you to share it with your dogs and your neighbors and all, but if you guys can hop on to all of the other language broadcasts and share those streams as well, you will be helping all of us. All of us.
But
And also,
I just got reminded. I just got reminded of something. So yesterday I caught up with 2 of my lecturers, and they say they would tune in today. So a quick shout out, Miss Ilma and Miss Amelia, if you guys are watching, thank you for giving me the chance to possibly claim some loot boxes. I know your kids also watch this, so do remember to ask them to claim this. But yeah, I'm
cute.
Yeah, just want to get that out.
You're so cute,
right.
man, Husky. You're so cute.
now, we just did flash the code for the boxes, so hopefully you guys are able to claim that. Otherwise, if you didn't claim it, ask chat, because I swear to God, chat is so good at sharing these codes.
Yes.
So if you didn't get it this time, ask the chat. Someone will post the code for you, and hopefully you'll be able to claim your boxes. And if you do claim your boxes, keep that code and share it to everyone that you know, right? Because everyone can claim it up until the end of the stream.
As Danny
Now-
says that, 1 million people start trolling the chat by putting in the wrong codes. No, don't do that.
I changed that one alphabet, right?
Okay, you just gave them ideas. All right, moving on so that they can forget. Next match we're going to be looking at is on Purgatory. So we've just finished we've just finished Kalahari. We've already done Bermuda, so we're almost done our holy trinity of maps before we go through the cycle again. So going into Purgatory, we already know that PXG, they can easily get Booyahs on the first 2 maps. Do you think it's going to be another PXG game?
Can I wish it's not?
Kim, it's up to you.
I wish it's not. I mean, it's not like I don't want PXG to win. They're an amazing team. If anything, they deserve it. After catching up with SAF when all of the teams have already been ruled out, like that was an impossible achievement, they still managed to bag it, right? So they deserve it. But I want to see the fight at the grand finals a little stronger than this.
I think for me, it was the fact that, I did predict PXG. Husky did as well, so we canceled each other out, and PXG is able to win out with this one, especially with that 17 points, the 12 placement points for the Booyah, of course, plus the 5 kills. This is a team that has a total of 16 kills altogether. If you're looking at it in terms of points, it's themselves, like 16 kills, that's the 16 points. Like the other teams don't have any kills to just kind of share with each other, right? If we're looking at Fast Kill Malaysia, they fell off hard, and this is Danny's horse in this race. They kind of fell off. Argon Malaysia, that's my horse. They're an 8th. We're kind of struggling at this point. But SAF, I like that fact that they're getting a little bit more positive. In the sense that they got the 12 points that they need. They really need to get themselves back into this game, into the groove, because you've got 4 more matches left.
Okay, now I do believe we're going to go to the overall standings in just a second. But can I mention, right, we've spoken about PXG. This team, so far, consistent performance, 2 Booyahs back-to-back, can easily get them. But can I remind everybody, somehow, this bloody head, the little limping puppy that just made it in, is consistently sitting at the top of the bracket after those 2 matches. Bloody head of all teams.
Can y'all not
is performing.
curse my team, please? I beg all of y'all.
You didn't.
All
Okay.
of y'all.
The thing is,
All of y'all.
you didn't actually root for Bloody Head.
I've been saying this. I haven't
At the
rooted
beginning,
for
I was
them,
like-
but I don't curse them. That's all I ask from you.
Danny is not a believer, that's for sure.
Oh god.
But almighty though, guys. Look at this performance, right? 7 kills, picking up the 3rd spot. I am very much impressed, but we need to see them continuously hit this stride. Don't say anything, 3 of you. I hope they do.
We're gonna have to see
now
the
you come
overall
back and you say
Okay,
something.
yeah, that's probably done it. Let's take a look at the overall standings before the chaos kicks in, because I genuinely want to see where the competition is. I know a lot of people are very interested in where Supreme Assault Forces are, because I think we're so used to seeing this team over the course of the group stage. I mean, after their very poor performance in Game 1, like, where are they going to be now on the leaderboard?
I think, somewhere around that 5th spot. But let's take a peek, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because the overall standings are here. And SAF are exactly at the 5th spot. What a play, Mustachio.
Did you just compliment yourself?
Yeah, I mean, look at Bloody Head.
I just plucked that out of thin air, man.
Well, you were right on point because they are 5th place. But hey, Bloody Head, very quietly 2nd place, but almost half the points of PXG Radicals, who are really running away with it. Somebody needs to stop them. PXG Radicals, I think, Husky, you need to get on that train.
Yeah, look, by the way, look at Bloody Head. They are in 2nd place. But they also at the same time have the second highest placement point. The survival part of Bloody Head is still there. I think the first match they got 0 kills. The second match they got 6, and then they got like 3rd place for both matches. So this is a great team. They might not be good in terms of killing people, but they are definitely good in terms of staying alive.
And that's something that they switched in terms of the strategy, right? Bloody Head, this is a team that made top 12 with 0 booyahs in the league, right? So in terms of just, they used kills to get themselves up into this league, and they've managed to do that. Now it looks like they've changed the strategy, and they're kind of hanging, hey, we just need to survive, make sure that we have a chance at that booyah. We will eventually get there, but I think they want to be under the radar. I know AJ wants them under the radar. No one wants to call them out, but it's, they're in 2nd place. It's hard to not be on the radar when you're in the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 4X-Men Expert, they've been, shining in the first 2 rounds itself. I albeit not in the way I want them to. I want them to pop off a little bit more, especially in that final circle. But it seems to be quite a challenge, guys. But to see them sitting down on that 4th spot and to see all of these standings are within the board itself excites me a little bit, right? But let's talk a little bit about Tactical Index, the team that has been able to find a lot of their stride in the competition all throughout, slowly improve and convinces that they are capable of hitting a lot in the grand finals at the bottom.
Yeah, and I don't know what to say. I think I've done enough.
What do you guys think is happening here, right? Because it can't just be purely luck. They are struggling a lot in either one of those fights that they took, especially in that second game. It was just an unfortunate situation for them.
I think both games they got caught out by 4X-Men Expert, if I'm not mistaken. Like both games they had to run into them and they just lost the initial fights. The first one was a double nade from Spade that really won the fight for 4X-Men Expert.
That's true.
On Kalahari, we didn't get the cash out on screen, but judging by the kill feed, I think 4X-Men Expert was able to catch them out again. Initially, they did lose one guy, right? Blacklist International, I think Phoenix was the one who got the first kill, and afterwards they had to run away with 3 guys. At one point, they were close to Do Easy. They avoided Do Easy and ran into 4X-Men again, and they ended up losing.
This is a team with 4 points, right? They have 4 kills. They have 0 placement points in the first 2 days. This is a team that was actually, struggling in the sense of you had that 2-week break, right? They had a lot of momentum going in. All of a sudden, there's a break, and they're like, oh, what do we do? It's like, do we even continue to practice? What do we do? And we're seeing the fact that, hey, maybe these guys didn't do their homework. They're not really prepared for this grand finals because we're going in, and they have 0 placement points after 2 days. This is going to be a struggle for them to even make top 8, top 6, to make any sort of move up. You got to get yourself back into the game. But we're going to find out what they do and how they change things out, because it's going to be match 3. This one's going to be Purgatory. AJ Husky, please take it away.
Thank you, Holla and Dana Lee. And yes, I am here as the genie from the magical lamp, or should I say the cursed lamp, to grant the wishes of everyone. And I think PXG Radicals are going to win Purgatory and overcome their demons of not being able to get the booyah on probably their worst map, according to the statistics. We're about to find out, and if PXG Radical gets this, then I can finally break the cycle of being the cursed prophet throughout the entire 6 weeks. It's very exhausting, like 1 full month of me just constantly kind of wetting the bed for everyone else. I want to do some good. I want to give back to the players, and this is it. I think PXG Radicals has a good chance.
Thank you so very much for helping out the other teams, Husky. On behalf of teams like Bloody Heads, I would like to thank you. Argon MY, early matchup against PXG Radicals. Doesn't look like it's going to be a great spot. But you know what? If if PXG is gonna get taken down like as the very first team after Husky compliments them, I think what better team to take them down than Argon MY, one of the underdogs that we have got our eyes on. But it's quite a lot to ask from Argon MY, to be able to pull something like that off.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Argon MY currently has, their conductor is Holland, right? Now, he's looking at Argon MY. They didn't have the best round 1. I think round 2 was slightly better, but not there yet. Argon MY is kind of like Tactical Intex, I feel both have good performance, but both are late bloomers as well. But it's the good news, right? The good news isn't PXG Radicals getting a third booyah. It is the fact that we have reached the 35k wheels milestone. The 30k one, we got that earlier, but the end of round 2, you guys are gonna be able to claim this 5x Dragon AK box. But just before the round 3 ended, we reached 35k. Man, you guys are absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. So let's take a quick peek at the bronze altar as well. Here you go. These are the alphabets as well as digits for your code, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Congratulations and thank you so much for sharing out all of the broadcasts. Don't forget, keep jumping on to all of the other broadcasts as well. We can see quite a number of our friends from overseas, from those other regions, popping in to catch exactly who will be the contenders from the MCP majors to step up onto the front later on as well. You guys do us a favor as well, right? This is not the only broadcast. Yes, thank you for tuning into the English one, but we've got the Barca broadcast going on. We've got the other platforms with the streams as well. So please help us share out each and every single one of these MCP major stream, because that 45k CCV is going to unlock the glue wall, the ferocious ink glue wall that I'm definitely looking forward to, Husky.
I think we're gonna get it by the end of this round, or by the start of, or when we come back from the break, right? Because consistency, we are hitting the CCV milestones with utmost consistency. So again, 35k milestone, we've achieved that. So thank you very much. We still have more to come, especially for the final milestone, I believe, of 45k. Once more, we're gonna give you guys the recap. We have this 45k wheel with the ferocious ink glue wall. So 10,000 more CCV, and we will be able to allow you guys to claim all of this. And we're waiting to get there.
Oh, absolutely. I believe this is the very, very first time that Free Fire is actually giving away a skin for the glue wall that is as awesome as this. In fact, could it be the very first glue wall skin that's being given now, Husky?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think we had that previously. I don't think we had that for the first major nor FFMC. So this actually could be the first glue wall skin.
This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please, 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 please continue sharing the stream out. I mean, I know for a fact you guys are enjoying the action out here because, teams like PXG Radicals making sure of that. Tactical Index, not yet, but I feel like this might be the round where they step into that final circle. Argon MY, earlier on, they had the opportunity to ask some big questions, which they did not take for understandable reasons. They want to make it into that final zone. But with 2 vehicles in hand, I feel like that's going to be a bad way to sneak into that zone.
At least for Argon MY, they haven't had a bad history with vehicles so far. I think this should get them at least a bit more mobility into the circle. Which, on the map like Purgatory, vehicles, they do play a bigger role simply because this map is larger compared to, the maps like Bermuda. I think for Argon MY, they should be fine. In fact, the fact that they are able to separate themselves from, I believe, the PXG Radicals, it is a good thing. Because both rounds, they've been rotating late, and they've been caught up by other teams. Now, if they place themselves closer to the circle, they probably will have a better chance of getting a couple more points for themselves.
Not SDF. Argon MY. parking it beside SAF. Well, I guess this is exactly how they want it. Let's wish this team all the best, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. McRory right in front should be able to spot Pedro out. Pedro does the exact same thing. And the trigger discipline, who cares about that? Let's take a couple of shots because I can knock Forbits down. But the delete is just going to be absolutely impossible. Pedro still putting on a lot of pressure onto the players of SAF. But with that knock, they know exactly who they're messing with. And I do not think Argon MY wants to continue this fight.
Can you imagine you look at the kill feed and then you realize that the guy you shot was SAF and you're like, guys, I think we stirred the wrong hornet's nest. But I don't know why now it's going to be Sparks. You might be right. They're actually not continuing.
Yeah,
actually,
run,
guys,
Forrest, run.
Maybe SAF, they're not retaliating as well. I think if you're in SAF's shoes, you probably don't want to challenge Argon and Y, even though you probably are stronger in terms of gunfight, simply because the first 2 rounds didn't look too good. So you kind of want to preserve the points, right? AKO Legend though, these guys, they had a great round 2. They just saw Blacklist International drive by. They have fast kill and one on the other side. In fact, they blew out the vehicles of fast kill, and that's gonna net them Monito. So the rest of fast kill, they're also out. In fact, SAF, as I say that they don't want to be aggressive, therefore they killed a 1 member for the side of Argon and Y, and I believe X2R was that casualty.
Argon MY, they are as good as dead meat unless they go in against SAF, because those vehicle plays that we were not very much in favor of. That's exactly what got Argon MY stuck in this situation. They drove in, they made so much of noise, they opened up against SAF, and now their vehicles on fire, blown up. They have got no way to run out of this situation. One vehicle, Daemoon, are you crazy? Daemoon just comes up, parks his car right outside, Sparks gets knocked down, and this is absolute insanity coming through from the players of SAF. What can Argon MY do? It's gonna be me who backs away from this situation, but McRory comes through with the pressure play. Me, with 10 more HP left, will get knocked down by Daemoon, and it's gonna be the final play by Pedro. Daemoon finishes things off, and it is Argon MY that dies because of that vehicular play. Did you guys learn nothing from Pascal MY?
Wow, told you this guy's a madman. He actually does not care. He just drives into the faces of him and McGlory. No, they both get 2 kills for themselves. Yesterday, I managed to watch Shang-Chi finally, and there was a quote that I definitely love. It's something along the lines of a blood debt must be paid back by blood. So even though no one died on the side of SAF, I think they took it way too far, for good reasons. They wanted the point. Argon MY super unlucky, they dodged PSG radicals and they ended up running into SAF. And like I said, right, they saw the kill feed and they were like, guys, I think we started the wrong fight. Pedro was the troublemaker and everyone else had to pay for it, including Kimo. In fact, he was the last one to die, so he watched everyone else go out. Let's Go does get, taken out as Nga gets eliminated by the blue zone, I believe. Let's Go is going to be out, so it's a 3 versus 3 occasion.
Well, SAF gonna get, in a position where they're definitely going to be struggling now. But there's a storybook that I read, Husky, that said something to the opposite of what you watched in that movie. It says, turn the other cheek. Let's see whether or not these players jump on in here and turn the other cheek or strike back, right? Because SAF, they're not going to be too pleased with the takedown of Let's Go. They should be able to fire back. And the best situation is the next zone belongs to them. But if they take this early engagement against AKO, PXG should be able to put a lot of pressure from the back. And we do have some big fighters on the left-hand side as well. But on that note, PXG driving straight into the compound of SAF, passing them, and will drop by AKO, say hello, and then get out of here. But I think PXG is just putting themselves in a very, very sticky situation. Vehicle on fire now. Where will they park that car?
Oh no, the vehicle got shot, taken, guess what, I believe. And Forest Management, they also chipped in from afar. And PSG Radicals put themselves in probably the worst possible position that they could ever find themselves in. I believe they lost 2 members. AKO also suffered casualties. They got eliminated by the Blue Zone early on. They lost Taken, so it's down to Rosso and Decos to at least try and survive and make it farther into the series. Still have 11 teams left alive, and this is pretty common when it comes to Purgatory. Blacklist International on the southern side, you have Too Easy on the eastern side, go over to rotate. ITX as well, showing on that radar, taking on Almighty. Trix is going to be the first one to get the knock onto Shira, but Almighty will be able to bring him back up.
Yeah, on behalf of all of the other teams, once again, Husky, thank you for calling out DXG. But yeah, it hasn't completed just yet. But the numbers have started showing. But PXG, they've managed to move into that final zone and grab that booyah, even with just 2 players remaining on their side. Granted, albeit there was a grenade launcher earlier on, it will depend on whether or not they can find it yet again. Almighty taking the fight up against ITX, cooking up those nades from the side of ITX. Let's hope they do not hold on to it a little bit too long. Jay-Z getting knocked down by Zapnu. And it's going to be Batman this time round. The backstab is just a little bit too slow. Time turner in the nick of time allows that little bat to survive.
Yeah, but the backline is getting shattered by ITX. So even though Batman survives, his backline is not having a good time. Jay-Z drops down, able to be revived by Batman, but Randy's bleeding out in the open, and ITX, they have someone on that flank watch, and that means that Almighty, they can't really do too much. They somehow managed to rescue Rand, but at the same time, they're in the danger zone, so this fight is not going to get any easier. In fact, Batman's going to be next one to go down. Trix with 2 kills for himself. Now he's already cutting off the retreat of Shira, and he catches Shira as well, trying to run away. Ren now becomes a survivor, and the rest of ITX, they're about to rush him. Almighty, they don't really have much chance to work with, as Jay-Z will lose his life. Now, just on this perfect flank, is going to catch out Ren, and Almighty gets absolutely cornered and wiped out.
Yeah, unfortunate for Almighty. ITX, they had the vantage point. They had, each and every single advantage going into that fight. Even with those nades, they were well placed. And, the flank from that upper ground just proved to be the better side to play. Fastkill MY, on the other hand, still surviving with this lonesome shark stuck on a roof. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there was a tsunami earlier on that swept through, and it brought that shark up onto the roof. It's just an unfortunate situation that we have to deal with. 4 X-Men expert comfortable in the next zone, whereas all of the other teams are still playing hooky outside. Let's see if or not PXG will be able to calmly move on, because they seem to be fixated on taking out ITX.
And PXG Radicals once more not having the full squad. In the first game, they had to fight with 2. Second game was better. They had 3 members to work with. But right now, I think they're down to 2 again. So a very rough start for this team, but they've proven 2 times in a row that they are no strangers to overcoming adversity. In fact, Blacklist International are in a very good spot. They probably know AKO Legends is up there, and Space will take out Rosso, so Decos will be the last man alive for AKO Legend. 4 bits from SAF alongside the rest of the squad. They're on the western side. PXG Radicals also around. This feels like a gathering of the top three teams, but if this is the case, then only one can get out. Goku gets the final kill, and AKO Legends are up.
Unfortunate for AKO. Now, PXG in a similar situation that they ended up with their booyah. 2 more players left in here in a gridlock situation with SAF. But the difference was earlier on, SAF only was, they remained with 1 final player. Could not go in with that aggressive push. Too easy, taking out bloody heads 1 by 1. Another player down towards the edge of that circle there. That's not going to be too much of an issue for the Too Easy players who managed to play the terrain, to the disadvantage of bloody heads, using all of those trees as the perfect cover, not expanding their glue walls. But even as I say that, iPad now gets knocked down, but it's not going to be too difficult to pick the guy up. Shark manages to find a vehicle for himself. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first time ever, a driving fish.
And Goku gets another snipe onto 4-bits this time. Forest Man Expert, the boys that you are putting a lot of your money on, they are popping off, and in fact they popped off. SAF once more out in 6th place. Blacklist International next on the menu. Rybell now chips in. Everyone's gonna put in those numbers. Blacklist International had nowhere to go. Here comes the nade like a shooting star right on top of the planet of Blacklist. They have not been able to get a couple of kills, at least with those utilities, but they know that Blacklist is gonna bleed out. Trix will steal that one away, as ITX also wants some points for themselves. In fact, look at this congregation of different squads up 14 They from behind will stab Forest Man Expert with their own ammunition, and Fastboo and White will be eliminated at the same time, but Tana will get sniped by Rifle. What was that long range shot? These guys are so accurate. ITX also rushing up that high ground. This is a very messy fight, and it's just getting more and more chaotic. Limit and chips in, and Valori also gets a couple of kills down. ITX gets that return, but PXG Radicals are out in 7th.
Well, 4X-Men Expert still alive and kicking in here with the 9 kills in so far. Blacklist International Ultimate, I believe, right there behind them. ITX snuffs out Views. Views putting on so much of pressure onto the players of 4X-Men Expert earlier on. Just allowed them to thin those numbers down. 4X-Men Expert taking on too many of a fight, but ITX appearing at that opportune moment was that lifeline that 4X-Men Expert have received in this matchup. Can they now get away from this vantage point, which they don't really need to do? Bloody Heads on the approach. ITX closing that gap as well. Niel gonna get caught out here. It's now the opportunity for Bloody Heads to pick up a couple of kill points. But Blacklist International, they are right below 4X-Men Expert. Will ITX punish them? Will Bloody Heads get to them first? So much of drama unfolding. A well-placed nade, but Morgana responds, and Niel almost gets taken out with that. Zapnu, 150 on the HP. Will Bloody Heads be able to do this? Goes in for the aggressive push. Morte now knocked down onto the ground by Zapnu. Zapnu just rolling across the blue walls. Will be able to get that backstab as well. But Do Easy Husky, they come in to ask some questions.
Yeah, Doozy have been waiting this entire time. They're gonna start tossing out the nades. 2 versus 4. I don't know if this is going to be possible for ITX and Doozy. They're pushing the luck. The nail on bias. Let's hit onto Zimnu. As Niall, he's gonna hide behind that tree. So his teammate's gonna go down. In fact, the rest of Doozy will try to come in for the cleanup. Niall trying to hold on to dear life, but Jempa's gonna lead the charge, and Bias is gonna use that nade to finish off tactical intacts. Down to the final 3 teams. Doozy with the full squad still alive, and they also found Phoenix on the backside. Clanks now has to run uphill, but he's running straight into Doozy, and they will just overwhelm him with sheer force and number. Blacklist International out of the picture. 4X-Men Expert tanking that blue zone. They know that this round is pretty much done. Doozy with 9 kills will bag the first booyah in this grand finals.
Well played by both Do Easy as well as 4X-Men Expert. But we all know who's the bigger winner overall, ladies, German boys and girls. The boys from 4X, yes, they managed to, I believe, equalize the number of kills with 9 kills against Do Easy. And on top of that, they did not allow Do Easy to pick off that final kill. They get the blue zone to do the final job. Yes, each and every single point matters in this grand finals where we only have 6 rounds. But Do Easy with Bayat, Jebel, iPad, Shah, Anga, as well as Ayat. Can they repeat this as easily as they have done in this third? It will be crucial if they want to pick up a majority, a lion's share of this prize pool, Husky.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at Do Easy's performance, right? When it came down to the first season, they got 5th in the league, but they got dead last in the grand finals of the first season. So if there's anything that Do Easy wants to prove, is to prove that they came back for the second season.
Yeah.
They definitely want to hit higher. During the first, I believe the first season of the grand finals, they hardly got any points. They didn't get a single booyah. So this is already an improvement. And the fact that, you know, they were able to get 9 kills, and that's 21 points in a single round. Super impressive from this team that a lot of us have overlooked up to this point. But let's bring back both Daniely and Holler. I'm sure they have something to say about me being the cursed prophet that I am. So welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Very nice to be welcomed back by the Cursed Prophet. So something I kind of want to touch on this game was that I do believe about half the kills went to 4X-Men.
As well as Do Easy.
Thank you. I don't know why I blacked out. I think I need another cup of coffee. I'm exhausted. But because these 2 teams have actually soaked up most of the kills this round, I do believe that there's going to be a little bit of a drought for some of the other teams.
Yeah.
I have honestly no idea what's going to be happening to SAF, but because for people that are tuning in, we've concluded our 3rd match of the day, which means we're already at the halfway mark. And I think for some teams, I think this is it. You know, like they can't make it to top 4 no matter what they do.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, Holler, but you know, let's jump on into the highlights as we continue this conversation. Holler, who did you think would be able to, you know, jump onto that #1 spot, and what actually happened to that team?
I think think it was going to be 4X-Men Expert. The fact that they got the high ground, they were getting a whole bunch of kills on that one. It was just like the ultimate spot, right? That ultimate perch, just making sure that they just rained down, terror on almost everyone else. But I think to add on to that, I think there were two, big factors in that one in terms of match 3. The first one being is that if your team started with the letter A, you were eliminated early. Argon, Almighty, AKO in that order. They got eliminated 12th, 11th, 10th. Those guys were out. The second piece is the fact that the Husky curse is a real thing. We saw exactly what happened from the beginning. PXG, they had no chance. They were like, oh, Husky just cursed us. We're done. Thinks that we're going to do well. Literally just put their phones on the ground and they're like, all right, we're out of this because we have no chance. Nothing is stronger than this Husky curse. It's way too strong.
Consistency.
Good one.
That's all I have to say.
The curse says it's a consistency issue. Anyways.
The consistency of those curses, which one is it?
The consistency of the curses. I firmly believe that I have achieved that. I have achieved the nirvana of cursing teams.
Ooh, tactical intakes. Hello.
They did not.
Made a play here. I mean, they did quite well. I think that it was kind of like, a Husky, again, taking the foot off the gas in the sense of just like, oh, tactical intakes are out, and then here's what they do. They just jump right back into 3rd place. But 4X-Men Expert, of course, that 9 kills, do easy with 9 themselves, but tactical intakes with 10. Everybody else is literally fighting for scraps. Very difficult to get anywhere. Blacklist International, you got 8 placement points, but you got 0 kills to your name. And of course, we've talked about this all day today, and I don't know what is wrong with them, but SAF, look at that, 7th place. This team is in dire straits right now. We thought we were going to be kings and they were going to be gods of this league, and we're proving that they're kind of mediocre at this point.
Coming into the finals, I knew SAF weren't going to be top 3, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Or X-Men Expert, though, with that one win. Yes, they did a lot for themselves, but look at the other teams that managed to climb up to the top of the board here, guys. I feel like teams like, ITX kind of did them a lot of favor as well, because with each and every single points that they were pulling away, teams like PXG Radicals are definitely going to suffer from this one matchup that they did not manage to shine in.
Yeah,
I guess it's going to come down to consistency again, right? Like, are they going to pick up when we rotate back to Bermuda? Because we've already run through the Holy Trinity. We've still got to go back and do everything again, right? So back to Bermuda, Kalahari. Like, is this maybe just a purgatory issue, or was this just a positional issue? Personally, I feel like it was a positional issue. They just did not get onto the high ground quick enough, and they suffered for it. But I think, Husky, what did you think?
You mentioned earlier, I think a lot of us came into this grand finals and we expect SAF to at least have a better performance, right, compared to the tail end of the league stage. Obviously, that has not been the case for the first half of the grand finals. Now, I think the bigger question is, will we see SAF at least qualify for Asia Championship in that top 4? And I mean, Danielle did mention that she did not expect them to be in top 3, but we thankfully have the 4th slot. So now I wonder if SAF can even make that top 4. It will be weird to not see them qualify, but at the same time, it feels a bit justified as well, judging from their performance being underwhelming so far.
Yeah. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you once again, because we've got another code to give you guys for all of those shares, for all of your love. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the second one, because we've hit our second target of the day. This was the first one, 5 of those Dragon AK box. You guys can claim it now with this code. Take a quick screenshot. But for the second one, the 35K goal that we just hit, Danny, what do they get?
Oh, what do they get? I'm going to let them claim this code first, because I know some people, they get very excited. They just like, oh, code. And then it's like, oh, wait, what was the first one? Hopefully you guys managed to claim the first one, because this is our second code of the day. It's going to be the Bronze Altar. Congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into the broadcast. Keep sharing, though, because we still have another milestone after this. 45K. But until then, down there is the code. Claim the code, screenshot the code, share the code. Make sure everyone that you know gets it. Make sure everybody does not miss out, because this is a gift from us to you guys as a big thanks for tuning in to the MCP Majors Grand Final. So let's hope that we can make it to 45, because, I mean, this has just been one round. We got extra, I want to say at least 5K, math. But can we get another 10K people in?
I think we can, because we've got a lot of our Sri Lankan friends in here. So a quick shout out to you guys. Karunakara Dravida Bedagana, please help us share this stream. We feel like you can bring in the numbers, and 10K, I think it's going to be quite easy for you guys, because we've got a huge Free Fire following over there. And if you guys help us hit it, I think everyone's going to be super duper happy with the Ferocious Ink Glue Wall Holler.
Yeah, it's down there as well for anyone.
Right? Yeah, I mean, the Ferocious Ink Glue Wall, that's where everybody wants to be. It's going to be there. Obviously, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how many more times I could share, if anything, but please do share. Make sure that everybody does have an opportunity to this. We got to get to that number. 45K is the magic number. That's going to be the final one. That's going to be the amazing one. We need to get there. But that said, we're going to have 3 more matches that's going to be coming up. And a lot of these teams that we talked about, you know, my horse in this race, I have ultimately cursed them, right? They are last place right now. They are 12th. I actually feel bad. Argon Malaysia were like, please don't let Holler say anything about us anymore. And I'm sorry, I'm going to move on with that, because that's not going to happen anymore. They've struggled mightily here. We've only got 1 more half. That's going to be 3 more matches, but that's going to be coming up after the break. And we will be right back with the second half of MCP Season 2 Grand Finals.
Get the first finisher, the rest of SAF is scrambling to get to safety. Damon is trapped, but he does get a knot on the way out.
Hajim goes down. Cobra manages to eliminate.
Adakah akan mengatakan itu? Wah, itu dah knock begitu.
That Bruno is gonna start. Everyone else and turns it into a 5 rate for Taken.
New kill leader right on that point. Bayats is looking to just fight this one out. Rin is trying to do what he can. Bloody Heart Mark is trying to turn this one up. X-Spot does get the knock onto Bayats. The blue walls are going to be used. Jembo is looking to do this, and Metric has now been eliminated.
We say no, because he just blew out Emperor. The fight is not over yet though, because they will continue that aggression as Aoki will get the first finisher. The rest of SAF, they're scrambling to get to safety. Damon is trapped, but he does get a knot on the way out. As they will also have 2 members on the ground, but Aoki is on the case. He's gonna revive the rest of his team. Across the freeway as well. One of the most dangerous spots on any map is crossing a freeway. They might not be cars, but people are aiming at you with their guns. Good nade from Cobra as Barba pulls out their grenade launcher. They will both trade 1 for 1. Cobra with a grenade, bouncing it off.
To just rush out, they have to get into the circle as quickly as possible. MTX Man's High getting some shots in. Bayats is looking to go down. He just needs to reload the gun. He does get the kill. He eliminates Do Easy. Nice shot there by Man's High.
I'm just surprised that Do Easy didn't gatekeep. Instead, they decided to just push out of the safe zone. And the moment the circle moves away, Do Easy are like, crap, now we have to make something happen. They go in for the push, they get wiped out. But look at Metrics. I mean, Manchai in the best possible position.
And it looks like Phoenix is just looking to just stick on the outside, trying to get some shots on. And Ramiel with a killing spree. This guy is turning it up. Black International just trying to stay alive with a grenade! With a 3K there!
Is going to drop that blue wall. Yes.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the MCP Majors Season 2 Grand Final. It is I, Daily, the Queen of Burgers, on my side. I was going to say my left, my right. I don't know which side he's on anymore. Hola, how you doing with your fries?
I'm good. I'm apparently the king of fries while you were the queen of burgers, and we are now here with the second half of MCP Season 2. This is going to be the Grand Finals. Now, I just need to ask, did you on your bingo card have Do Easy in the top 3 anywhere on that card?
No,
right?
So I thought Do Easy would be able to maybe have a middle of the pack showing. considering that they did manage to pull out a pretty good performance during the last week. But top 3? No way.
Yeah, this is a team that's completely different. I don't feel like if there's any team that we're like giving the benefit of the doubt for, and they're like, oh yeah, they're saving strats. But this team actually seems to have saved strats, and they're in a prime position to maybe even overtake PXG Radicals. I don't want to say it because I don't want to curse them, but they do have that opportunity. I mean, they're only 5 points behind. I'm not saying that. I hope PXG Radicals, woo! I hope they win. And I think I just did a good job of cursing them. We will find out. But that's going to be coming up. And hey, if anything, right now, what you want to be doing is you want to be redeeming every single code that we have, which is going to be one right below. This is going to be your AK box. You make sure you do that. You take that screenshot, share it with anybody, any one of your friends, whatever it takes. Everybody has an opportunity to redeem it, so feel free to do so. The second one that we've also gotten is, of course, the bronze altar as well. So there's another code. So you'll want to take advantage of these things. And they're 2 different codes so that you can redeem them all, and everybody gets an opportunity to do this. So again, please feel free to share. And let's go for that 45K milestone. This is going to be the big one. It's going to be for the glue wall skin. I'm looking forward to it. I hope we hit it. I'm trying to do as much as possible in terms of sharing it to people that don't even play Free Fire, but we're going to get there, and that's going to be coming up.
Absolutely. Now, for people that are just tuning into the broadcast as well, we have 3 more games to go. We are at the halfway mark for these teams, and we're already starting to see who's sitting at the top of the leaderboard and who's currently struggling. And from now on, these remaining 3 matches, it's do or die for a lot of these teams, and especially considering that not only are teams gunning for that first place, which is $15,000, but top 4 is the end game for a lot of these teams, because top 4 teams at the end of this will qualify for the Asia Championships, which they'll essentially represent the region moving on and play with the other regions that also play Free Fire, which I'm really looking forward to, because it personally for me, I love seeing these inter-regional talent playing against each other, because you get a mix of different metas, different play styles, and you also get to see what countries have the best Free Fire.
And we're going to have to find out. I mean, even in that one, it's going to be pretty crazy. I think there's even in the Asia Championship, it's going to be about 400,000 USD in terms of the prize pool. But let's go to the Esport Award, and let's see exactly what's going on. All we need you to do is vote for the Esports Award. Of course, this is going to be for Free Fire. Esports, the mobile game of the year. They won last year, I believe, and they're going to be in prime position to do so again. But we do need your help to get this vote in. Of course, if we do win, probably we'll throw out some more skins, so it's probably in your best interest to do so. It's going to be the esportsawards.com/vote. Please do vote for Free Fire. Let's make sure that they are the Esports Mobile Game of the Year winner again.
Vote for us. Vote for us. We won last year. Vote for us. I think we can do it. We absolutely have the best community for this kind of stuff. So guys, make sure you vote for Free Fire. Make sure we win again, because who doesn't love a 2-year title? I think it sounds very fancy, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, it's very exciting to win again, and I feel like we need to kind of clip your cheer, because that one should be the background music for all of this. I think we'll get a lot more voters if we get that. But we're going to go into match 4. This one's going to be coming up with, of course, our famous and the best casters of AJ and Husky. Please do take it away.
Thank you so much, Holle, as well as Danny. I mean, as we move on in this competition, Husky, lots of curses have been thrown out there. But, fun jokes aside, who do you think, based on the first 3 matches that have competed in here, looks strong to pick up that beautiful, beautiful trophy that we have spinning around between us?
I think right now it's between PXG Radicals, Forex-Man Expert, and Lee AKO Legend. I'm not really sure about the third team just yet, because I think that is from third place onwards is a bit volatile. But I think the first 2 is almost set in stone, at least with how PXG Radicals got their first got 2 booyahs in a row for the first 2 rounds. So I think they are in good shape to get first place. Even if they don't, by the end of today, they certainly qualify for the Asia Championship.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Do Easy actually sitting up somewhere at the top, because the previous time we looked at the overall standings, I believe Do Easy was in the 3rd position, and now with Do Easy picking up the booyah for themselves, I think they're going to be able to wreck the leaderboards, right? This team that was pretty much nowhere on those leaderboards, scraped through in the top 12, and now about to dominate the MCP majors. What do you think that's going to be a possibility as we jump on into Bermuda match number 4, Husky?
I think before the grand final started, absolutely no way. I think right now they are definitely defying that expectation. Again, when they came into the grand finals for the very first season, they dropped dead last. It felt like Do Easy was not even kind of a factor in the grand finals, right? We were essentially playing with 11 teams. But right now, I think Do Easy, they have really stepped up the game over the course of, I think, more than 6 months. They did make some adjustments to the roster. But most importantly, the core of this team has not only stayed with the squad, but has also improved tremendously over the course of the break that they got, and even during the course of the league. In fact, Do Easy, they finished in like 10th place. At one point, we were worried for Do Easy. They always come so close to 12th place, and then they bomb out in that most important round. It kept on happening until the very tail end, and they squeezed in, but not barely though. They made it to 10th place, and they had a 20-point lead over Bloody Head, who was in 11th place. So I think Do Easy, they've shown a tremendous improvement, and now they're amping that ante up.
Yeah, and I feel like, that is exactly what excites me about the format in the grand finals of the Free Fire MCP Major Season 2 itself. The fact of the matter is 6 rounds, and it's going to decide everything in here. So for teams that, manage to scrape through like Do Easy, it doesn't matter how those 6 weeks went, as long as today, that one day you wake up and you show up in the best form of yourselves as a squad, it's going to be more than enough. But for the other teams like SAF, who've shown us in those group stages itself as to what they can do, for teams like ITX, who have proven themselves, it's turning out to be a different sort of a situation in here. But that being said, it is not over just yet. 3 rounds have concluded, but 3 more rounds are in here. The only thing that stands in their way is those teams at the very top continuously performing all throughout these balanced 3 matches as well. As I say that, Dynamo goes in for the knock-on to Batman. And if Almighty loses Batman, and on that note, yes, they do, it's going to be very difficult for them to move on into the final zone. But on that note, Ren goes in for the delete onto Dynamo as well. This is a fight neither Almighty or PXG can actually afford here, Husky.
But PXG feels like they were kind of fishing for more. I mean, insanity, he just drove by, get some info, and he's gonna back off. But down there below, we have the 45k views, the CCV giveaway items. The milestone is the Ferocious Ink skin for the Glue Wall, the first ever Glue Wall skin that we're giving away on an official broadcast. So this is amazing, right? I mean, we hit 30 and 35k within the span of 15 minutes, between each other, and now we're making our way towards 45k. You guys are just amazing human beings. Do remember to go and also vote for Free Fire as the best mobile esports game of the year. We got it last year. It's time for the twofer this year. Make us the best, because we are the best. What am I talking about? We are the absolute best.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was just about to say that. But thank you. Thank you for throwing that in. Oh, Sparks getting knocked down by Mark. And now Morgana should be able to take the delete. But Mark just steals it away from him. Technically, it was his to pick up in the first place. 12 more teams still alive and kicking here, though. Bloody Heads, just at the corner of Mars Electric here. Have to be really careful. But we jump on over to Views as they take the fight against Auto Knockout. Now with a beautiful knock on to Alforte. But he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Views with Mbalore. They have got a amazing, bird's eye view over Nga. And with him being caught in a situation like this, I do not think AKO will be able to save him. But at the same time, if the rest of those players from AKO can go in and catch Mbalore off guard, toss in a couple of nades into that watchtower, that will be the best sort of punishment that they can bring onto Views. Because Views without Mbalore, I'm not saying they won't be able to grab the booyah, but it becomes drastically more difficult, Husky.
Yeah, and I think Decos with that cover fire, downing Alforte a second time, bought enough space for AKO to get out. But Blacklist International will now challenge Mark. They have that nade. That one goes absolutely wide. With that bounce off, I believe Phoenix was the one who, Manflank was the one who kind of missed it. But either way, they were able to get Mark back out from the side of Bloody Head. And this fight feels like Blacklist International, they really want to clean this up. And it's going to happen in the factory, one of Bloody Head's home turf. We'll see if they were able to make it through. Cobra, again, leading the charge, drops that glue wall, giving himself a bit of gap to work with. And Mark will be the first challenger to take up that fight. And Bloody Head, they are completely surrounded by Blacklist International.
Yeah, and let's see exactly what Clank will be able to pull off here. Mountain gets away with his life, but Prizepool not able to capitalize with that opportunity. Clank now backs away. Morgana should be able to flank the rest of the players from Blacklist International, but I don't think that's the kind of play Bloody Heads want to go for. They're playing this too passively, a little bit on the back foot, and hopefully they do not get caught off guard. But at the very same time, I do not see a better way to take a fight against a team as vicious as Blacklist International. If Bloody Head plays this right, Blacklist International should make one mistake which they can capitalize on, which is getting a little bit too aggressive. Bloody Heads, they are doing the right thing here, Husky. They're looking for a vantage point to set themselves up in the best defensive position before firing back. But now, as they move on out of factory, if Blacklist International catches up with them, they should be able to get them out in the open clear. But it looks like that's not going to be the situation. Bloody Heads actually running away with their lives.
Yeah, they actually make it out and they will not enter Pochino, and that is just at the edge of the circle. So you see Blacklist International, they are a team that once they decide that you are on that hit list, they are not gonna let you go. And you can see Blacklist International, they were really chasing Bloody Head until Bloody Head found some refuge in Pochino. Now Blacklist International, they realized that we cannot continue chasing anymore. We're going up high ground. Bloody Head has some compound to work with. This is not good for us. So that really stopped Blacklist International in their tracks. PSG Radicals early on, they did an exchange with Almighty. They say, we give the life of Tanamo, we receive the life of Ren. It's a 1-1 exchange. No one's the wiser. AKO Legends behind at PSG Radicals, they're about to have more fights than they could manage.
This is exactly what 4X-Men Expert wants. They've been praying for, and they get granted exactly that. PXG getting stuck in between AKO as well as Almighty. Do easy in the vicinity to snuff them out as well. SAF can jump on in and then get taken out. What else does a team at the very top need, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? 4X-Men Expert, they started off FFMC slow. They made it through to the MCP Majors. They started off MCP Majors on a high note, but they lost their flavor halfway through. But they start off the grand finals hot, and they seem to still be hot. Let's see exactly what moves through. And this is amazing.
Wow.
I did not expect to see a PXG Radicals billboard in the game itself.
This is what happens when you get 599 total points in the league stage. But more importantly, this indicates who is the leading one right now. And of course, it is PXG Radicals, right? If you're in the lead, you're going to get a billboard to tell everyone, hey, we need to get rid of these guys because they are running away. They're not only taking over the league stage, they're also taking over our game. We don't want to see their face every round we play, so we got to take them off that billboard, but we can't vandalize it. The only way that we can eliminate them is to make sure that they don't get in first place. So PXG Radicals, they have been officially labeled as public enemy number 1. That's going to take some heat off of SAF, hopefully. But PSG Radicals, they have shown us that no matter how hard you hit them, they're going to hit back twice as hard.
Yeah, I want to see exactly what they'll be able to bring on into the rest of these matches in here. I mean, Kill Leader, with them picking up that title, right? We should at the very least know exactly who has contributed to all of that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It will be none other than Ramiel, right? 86 in total kills he pulls into the bag for himself, but yet he's not the one that bags the most kills within the competition. Tanamo as well as Barba, 76 as well as 74. Add all of that up together, it puts PXG at the very top. In terms of individual kills, the ones who have picked up the most so far is actually Zapnu from ITX with 111 kills before we started off this grand finals matchup. But we have seen exactly, how much that sort of a stat has done for them. Absolutely nothing. Zapnu has not been able to strike in these matches thus far. We are in game number 4 now, and Tactical Index all the way out at Plantation. They still don't seem to be hitting their top stride just yet. SAF McRory at the top as well with 104 kills. Even he has not found his full stride in here just yet, Husky.
Yeah, absolutely not. And you look at Argon and MY, they are also not in a good spot. They are dead last, and they had to start this round with only 3 guys. They lost Spark somewhere in the middle, so it's just down 2. And there are 12 teams left. We're almost 10 minutes in, and no teams have been eliminated just yet. And this really shows how the approach towards the grand finals is, at least for the MCP region, when instead we see all these players filled with bloodlust. They just run at each other. We're seeing them actually play safe and strategic. I don't know how I feel about this, and not in a negative way, of course, because we don't get to see this every day. But I feel like this is probably the best approach. Even the teams in the league, like PSG Radicals, are not pushing their boundaries too much.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's a great thing or a bad thing, but look, I guess we can look at the overall leaderboard and get an answer if or not that's a great thing. It doesn't seem to be doing them a lot of bad. They've been quite conservative with the way they've taken these matchups, but that being said, the last time we actually saw the overall leaderboards was after that second match. After the third matchup, we haven't been able to catch up with it just yet. But, rough calculation would still peg them in the top 5, top 6, not too far away at all as the other teams try to catch up with them. Best case scenario, they're in the top 3, right? So PXG, as long as they kind of find their stride in this game, in the 4th month, I think it's not going to be too much of pressure on their shoulders. And they've proven themselves over the weeks that they can actually get it done.
Yeah, even though game number 3, they didn't have the best result. The fact that by the end of round 2, they were leading by almost 20 points. They were leading by, I think, 18 points over Bloody Hate, who were in second at that point of time, means that at least PSG Radicals have that 1 round leeway to work with. Blacklist International, though, they're going to make contact with SAF, and this is important for both teams. Manflank is completely blinded by the flashbang, but Clive is running downhill. He has the glue in his hands, and in fact, let's go. He just whizzed past Manflank, and Damon runs into queue of Clive. Blacklist International, they are getting overwhelmed by multiple angles. Cobra takes on the fight, but he realizes that he is outnumbered as well, as Damon guns him down. He is also not joins the fight, but everyone from Blacklist International, they're trickling in one by one, and this is not really what you want to do in CQC, but at least Phoenix was able to down Let's Go. Now he needs to get the finisher, and he will indeed get it. Blacklist somehow gets Cobra and Clanks back on their feet. Cobra forced to kneel once more by the nade from Daemoon, but a good swing from Manflank will take off a glory as SAF. They kind of start the fight in a good note, but Blacklist International will want to end it in a good note. Cobra now getting revived once more, as Clanks will also set up the fortification of this glue wall. The fortress of Blacklist International will keep them alive. Tactical Index out in 12th place off screen, but SAF, they are not doing great at all. Damon gets a trade, Forbits gets the snipe, but Blacklist International are still all alive. Cobra is going to be brought back up pretty soon, and through all the damage that SAF deals, they did not get a single kill.
And Forbits manages to get away with his life, and that should be more than enough for the side of SAF so far. And as far as PXG or teams like 4X-Men Expert are concerned, that is damage dealt enough, because even if they do get those placement points, it's going to be absolutely tough to get any more of those kill points on their side. Ren gets knocked down onto the ground. They need to go in here for a pickup, and Almighty are all set to get exactly that done. But the pressure play that's coming through from across, those players from Bloody Head will be able to put that pressure. AKO on the other hand with a nade pop down towards the side of P. Able to take anyone out of the equation just yet, but Nga suffering on the ground. Ramiel cooking up that nade. Boss needs to be really careful. Pops out the glue wall just in time to make sure that pressure play from PXG does not continue to come through. Insanity, Nga now getting taken down. Ramiel with the pop of the nade once again. Rosso X needs to make a play. PXG stuck with just 2 players. AKO, if they do not make the play now, it will be too late as Bloody Heads third party this and take the advantage. Rosso X, Insanity coming in for the aggressive play, pulls out the time turner, runs away with his life, not losing even a sliver of health. And now finally the time for Bloody Heads to come in and ask those questions. AKO taken way too long. PXG now just needs to stay silent and stick their noses out of this whilst Bloody Heads get the job done.
Yeah, Russell, he actually caught a glimpse of Bloody Head, and he's like, guys, I think we're in trouble. And Bloody Head, they actually did not wait at all. They're rushing into this compound. Like you say, PXG Radicals, they're taking a backseat. Russell does get knocked out by the grenade launcher once more. Deco's running in and out of the time turner, and he somehow is working out. Taken with the sight, so they cut the members of Bloody Head. They might be able to do this. Taken is down the ground. Cripple gets knocked out, and AKO Legends hold on. They hold on at least against Bloody Head, but now it is time for PXG Radicals to strike. They have bide their time. They have the discipline, and they are now here to reap the rewards of AKO Legend. Deagles will need a bit of time to heal back up, but Taken does not have that luxury. Now was able to downgrade Meow, but AKO Legends, can they weather out the storm that is PSG Radicals? So far, it seems like that is a yes, because PSG Radicals have been forced away from the fight. AKO Legends with 6 kills.
AKO just took on the leaders of the leaderboard, as well as Bloody Heads, who have been so impressive in here so far in a back-to-back fight and still left standing. Rosso X, the only one that they had to trade out to get on top of the situation, but they will have not, they won't really have it any other way. Now, one final player on the side of PXG just means one extra kill point for the side of those players. And now FSK going in, taking the fight up against Almighty, knocking one player down. FSK, a team that hasn't really been meeting its stride just yet in the competition, SK.
Yeah, and perhaps this is a good start. You know, Me is the only man left for Argon MY, and FFK, if they can find him, that's one freebie. AKO Legend, they are now trying to move into the circle. Insanity is behind, but it's 3 members of AKO Legends against 1. So Insanity will need to pull out the play of his life to clutch this out. And knowing AKO Legends, they will just stick by each other. Insanity, he is currently ignored by AKO Legends, which is pretty surprising considering how, you know, it is literally 3 against 1. But AKO Legends, we'll see what they do with Insanity. Argon MY will surrender themselves to the blue zone. Insanity forced to run for it, so I think AKO Legends should be able to pick him off.
Yeah, and I think he will rather give his life away to the blue zone. Bonito getting knocked down by yes, the delete doesn't come through just yet. Views just suffering all of those shots from the side of Blacklist International and BXP Radicals. Yes, he does get taken out. It's the player from the side of Blacklist International getting that job done. Fast Killer MY as well as Views jumping out back to back. 4 X-Men experts still alive and kicking. They take down the players of AKO. Beautiful plays by Goku. Taken now, knocked down. It's going to be Nga, the final player for the side of AKO. Manplank getting it done. Is Nga going to get taken down by Blacklist or the side of 4X? Either way, they have sustained a lot of damage. Daisy manages to go in for the knock as well as the delete on Clanks, and it's now Blacklist International in the crosshairs of Almighty, who survived with 2 more players. Ren almost getting taken down, backs away, pulls out the glue wall, and manages to recover his health just a little bit. His friend JC, on the other hand, does not have that opportunity as Shah knocks him out. Too easy, still alive, and looking for the play in that final zone. Are they going to be able to bag it on the biggest day possible? Too easy, outdoing and absolutely shutting up all of the non-believers right now.
I mean, if they get a second Booyah, I honestly think they will overtake PSG Radicals on that leaderboard because they are doing so well. PSG Radicals are already out. Do Easy have 6 kills. They have everyone left alive. Cobra now called out, and we thought Blacklist International has the best spot. That Nate fight is true, and it's just an insurance policy. Phoenix now finds himself in the worst possible spot. Another Nate lands onto him. That one comes from Jembao, and this is just perfect. They have the utilities, they have the grenade launcher, and they only have 2 more teams to go through. They are the only one alongside Forestman Expert who has the full squad alive. SAF Orbis, he's somehow still lurking in the shadows. He is behind Do Easy, but Do Easy, they're bigger fishes to fry, and that is Forestman Expert, the team that is so far doing well, but those glue walls, they will not stand against the bombardment of grenades for the side of Do Easy. Bias does get knocked out for Goku, but they need a bit more because Jembao is going for the push. 4-man Forestman Expert losing 2 members, so take the biggest fight of their life, and they're gonna win this out against Forestman Expert. Forbes, he's gonna dance his way to death because he knows that this round is pretty much over. And guess what, AJ? The prophecy is almost coming true. Forbes will surrender himself to the blue zone, and Do Easy will back their own twofer on this grand finals.
What a play by Do Easy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, an impressive setup coming through from a team that barely scraped through the top 12 from the group stages. Baez, Jempa, Ipes, Ja, Aga, as well as Ayat once again pick up the Booyah for themselves, and they look to run away with this competition. Absolute, unbelievable display of aggression from Do Easy. And I say, man, it's all down to the grenade launcher at the very end of that final circle. And any team, and by the looks of it, who can pick up the grenade launcher should be able. No, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome back Danny as well as Holler, our amazing hosts, back. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you. I'm honestly really excited to see the overall standings because PXG, they have had Can I say it? Another terrible round. A god-awful round. And we're seeing teams maintain that C word, the consistency. So I feel, without a doubt, PXG have lost that first placing. Without a doubt. These guys are no longer in first place.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's already been done in the sense that they've just moved on. Like PXG, just again, I mean, yeah, they struggled. They got eliminated. I think it was 9th place. So they did struggle in that sense. But I mean, look, Do Easy. Again, I talked about this before. Who had picked Do Easy going into this one, right? They really struggled here. They were like 10th place, just even going into the grand finals. People even thought that maybe they might not even make it. But man, they are hitting all their shots. They're making very good decisions. This is a team that was like, I don't know if they've got friends in the SWAT or police force, but they got some training and they put in those skills, and they're showcasing them now because this team is on fire. They're making good moves. They're hitting all their shots. They're getting all the kills. This is a team that I think that they're hitting the peak at the right time.
Paula, I have to remind you, they're doing well because no one picked Do Easy.
Okay, so Husky, are you going to pick them now? Are you going to get on that train? Come on.
No.
Come on that train. And ride it. Ooh, ooh.
Here's the thing. Not every day is Sunday. As a matter of fact, today's a Saturday. I don't know if or not Do Easy is going to be able to maintain this because of that bad word Danny just mentioned, consistency. They've not shown us consistency all throughout the group stages. And, to expect them to show us consistency in the grand finals, I think it's asking of a lot from the team. Because a lot of the others will be looking to step up, right? I mean, SAF, PXG, they, it's the day's not really going the way they intended it to. And we only now have final 2 more opportunities in here, guys. I mean, to think that they are not going to go all out to secure the Booyahs for themselves, I don't think we can say that, right? I think they are going to go all out. And by going all out means playing it way more passively, just the way that SAF with the 4-bits play all throughout. The guy survives in towards the final zone solo.
I suppose so. I don't know which one is the best approach, honestly. I don't know if you want to take on early fights just to bag those kills, or you want to survive until the end. I think for a team like PSG Radicals, they can definitely afford to take those fights simply because they are way superior compared to a lot of teams in terms of gunfights. And the last 2 rounds of 3 and 4, they didn't really do that, right? They became a bit more passive, and I felt like that did them more negative than it did them positive. But that's just how I feel just looking at the first 4 rounds for PSG Radicals.
Look, I look at it as you have 2 more matches left. It's now or never, right? So you need to just go, pedal to the metal, just try to get as many kills as possible because, maybe you might not be able to take out Do Easy, which is going to be, like, at this point, they seem to be overtaking all the other teams, even PXG, but you got to get your kills. You got to get your points some way. Playing passively sometimes is just really unlucky with the circles and all that. So you need to take fate into your own hands at this point. You got to get yourself into top 4. Now is the time. You don't have any more, 2 more matches. This is it for the Asia Championship. Are you going to get in or not? Do you want it? You got to find out. And we're going to just have to just go for those kills.
Absolutely, man. The group standings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from that match number 4, Do Easy bagging that Booyah as well as 12 kill points once, not once again. Earlier on, they got 9 kills. They actually improved in this next one. So I think they have found their stride. But once again, man, consistency, keeping up is going to be quite tough. Blacklist International actually stepping up this time around. 6 kills in here with a total of 13. AKO picking up the 3rd spot with the 12 points. 4 X-Men Expert, I believe, are the only consistent ones in that top 5, I can say.
Actually, no. Actually, the consistent one, I would say is Do Easy. So
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think the first round they got, I think they got like 7 points. So it's, sorry, 6. So it's 6, 18, 21, and 24. So I think that is, wait, no, it's 6. I forgot the first round, but the second round it was 6, and then they ended the second, the first overall standing that we saw. They had 18. They had 18 points in 3rd place, and then now you add 21 and 24 on top of it. So honestly, I think they are the most consistent team, even better than PSG Radicals at this point, even better than 4X-Men Expert and AKO Legend.
Well, taking a quick peek into the overall standings should be able to kind of answer that particular question on whether or not Do Easy has been the most consistent team. Holler, walk us through it, man.
Yeah, they've been getting all the kills. Like, they have the most amount of kills throughout the entire day today. They have, I think, 30. The second place team is PXG. They have 17 kills to their name. So, well, all of these teams, again, it's just about clicking those heads, making sure that you're on. Look at that,
Wow.
63 to 47, 16-point gap. That is pretty sizable in that sense. But for X-Men Expert, they've been getting a decent number of kills, and you're seeing them, kind of rise to the top. Top three is where you want to be. AKO Legend is in fourth at 33 points. That's a bit of a drop off, but they're in neck and neck with Blacklist International and Supreme Assault Forces, who's literally a point behind. Fighting for that be pretty key, but we'll find out more considering that we have 2 more matches left. It's going to come down to that one. But man, I gotta say, when I called Argon Malaysia, I thought golf score was the best score in the sense that the lowest points and they're on the bottom, so I'm winning in that sense if this was a game of golf.
I don't think anyone expected Do Easy to lead in such a dominating fashion today.
I did not expect the Malaysians to dominate the leaderboards at the very top today. I have to say that, because, look at the teams like PXG Radicals, the only ones making it up to the top. But as for the rest of them, SAF, the usual ones that dominate, Views not really showing up at the top. They don't really dominate, but they usually stick in their noses where it doesn't belong at those right times to make things exciting. But, final 2 matchup, man. Husky, you were about to say something.
And I mean, for season 2, I definitely do agree with you that we probably didn't expect a Malaysian team to be at least until the tail end, right?
Yeah.
But look at history. I guess maybe this is where we thrive the most, when all chips are on the table, when everyone has their backs against the wall. The previous season, the top 3 teams are from Malaysia, right? Then the 4th place was SAF for season 1. So right now, SAF's definitely not even in contention of top 4. We have, I think the closest one is PXG Radicals in 2nd. But Do Easy in 1st place, that's something that I didn't expect at all. Again, if they even improve in terms of standings compared to season 1, I would be happy simply because they had a dreadful grand finals. They came in dead last. They even have a negative 12 points because they got penalized with an infraction. That was how bad it was for Do Easy. So right now, if they get 1st place and they qualify, that would be the biggest redemption arc for this team.
Now, speaking of redemption, this is our time to redeem codes. I don't think those two are supposed to go together, but anyways. At the bottom of the screen, we have one of our codes. This is for the Dragon AK box. Make sure you claim this one. We also have another code for you, which is the Bronze Altar. Make sure you claim it this one as well. That's going to pop up right now. And I do believe we have not hit our 45k concurrent viewer milestone yet. We've got 2 more games to go, guys. We've got to pick it up. If we're gonna get this, we're gonna have to do it now, please.
I want that. I want the glue wall skin, man. I mean, it's so rare. It's so freaking rare.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Free.
It's free. It's what we open up the shows all the time. Where's my code? Here's the code. The code is just behind this little black
This number.
thingy. Okay, it's just behind this. When someone in the production team clicks a button, we get to see the code. But they will not click that button unless we hit that 45k. So like and share. Once again, not just this one particular broadcast. We've got so many other broadcasts on so many other platforms.
Just
and
share
they
all
are
of
taking
them.
their cumulative CCV. So I think we still can hit it, guys. One final push.
All right, guys. So we do have to talk about our 5th match for today. We've got one more after this, but 5th match, and arguably the hardest match because it's on Kalahari. It's probably the toughest map out of all the maps so far. It requires a different play style compared to the other 2 maps. It's big, it's open, and it's going to require a lot of skill to get that booyah. I have to ask the big question: is Do Easy going to be able to consistently play so that they can keep their 1st place?
Husky, tell us.
I was about to say it depends on the results that you guys are looking for, right?
Husky, tell us. What do you think, Husky?
So you're putting me on this. You guys are really putting me on the guillotine. Yes, I think they will.
Oh Lord!
Okay, so we gotta find a new
Looks
team.
like- looks like we can forward to seeing Do Easy in some early fights, and hopefully they go ahead to win that, so we can turn things around, man. We need to break the curse, Husky.
All right, so it looks like it's going to be match 5. This is going to be Kalahari. We're going to find out if the Husky curse is real. Can Do Easy take over? We're going to have to find out one, but this is going to be with Husky and AJ. Please take it away.
Sorry, Husky. I was about to jump in and say real quick that I don't think that the curse will work this time around, because I know Do Easy is tuning into the Barca stream, so they might have not heard it. They're not going to get overexcited, my friend. I think we solid.
Yeah, I think so. Again, once more, right? Thank you to our 2 wonderful hosts. We have the French Fries King, Holler. We have the Burger Queen, and then Lee. I think you are the Mustache Emperor, I guess, and I'm just a Cursed Prophet. With the worst title to have on the panel. But I believe in one thing, that miracles can happen. And now the miracle I'm looking for is for Do Easy to actually win out on Kalahari, because I don't think Kalahari is the best map. Sure, they take Refinery a lot, but that has not given them, well, that dub just yet. Although what I do know is Batman finally decides that he is no longer Batman. Well, at least he has started getting some kills, and it's on Tanamo as well from PSG Radical. So this is a great start, at least if you're on Almighty side.
Yeah, Tanamo must have said something about his mother or something, but that's the only way you get to trigger Batman, man. When Martha's involved, then something's hit the fan. Batman's going to jump up. He's hunting for these kills. They know exactly which team is in front of them. But I feel like, the side of Almighty, they're not going to be the ultimate winners if they continuously hunt down teams like PXG. In these situations. Yes, you've gotten that 1 kill already, but focus in here on the loots. You've already gotten the damage done in here. I mean, like a little bit of what Do Easy, I believe, did earlier on, where they jumped in for the kill and backed away. I think those were the perfect plays.
Oh, Insanity, he is in a lot of trouble. They spotted him, and I don't think the rest of PSG Radicals can save him. Yeah, Insanity is going to be knocked down, and Almighty, they are running at PSG Radicals. And this is a second easy kill, and Insanity know that he is not going to survive. So, while Almighty, if this is the time that they step up, I believe it is in the right time. We have 2 more matches to go. This is the final lap. Almighty, they're sprinting at the right time. Now it's a matter of whether it is fast enough to catch up to the teams they're leading, or at least make that top 4. Because Almighty, so far, when we look at the standings that they are at right now, they're in 9th place. 24 points. So these last 2 rounds are crucial. It really dictates whether Almighty can make it a top 4 or not.
Yeah. Could it be as crucial as the kind of predictable situation that PXG has fallen into? Now, with once again 2 men, they try to survive in this. But this time around, the little bit of the change would be the fact that Ramiel's alive and kicking, but Nga will be able to perhaps change that and put an end to his situation. He should be able to pull the flank, but has got no information whatsoever of the appearance or the existence of those PXG players right beyond that little hill. Now, PXG is a team that has started off this round in the most unfortunate of ways, and I kind of feel bad for them, man. I mean, if you are that player in that battlefield, if you're one of the 2 surviving players, you most definitely will be heartbroken. But you want to know one reason to smile, Husky?
Yeah, let me in on that. I love to smile.
The one reason to smile is we are almost hitting our 45k CCV.
Yes, the Ferocious Ink Glue Wall is within grabs, guys. If you want the code, this is it. 2 more rounds. Think of it as the last sprint, just like Almighty. We are almost there. This is a crucial 2 rounds, but yes, get the live stream out regardless of what. We have Barca, we have English, and we also have Tagalog. Do share it with your friends and families. Hit that CCV and you'll get that Ferocious Ink Glue Wall. But most importantly, for AKO Legends in this case, as we jump back into the game, they also want to get themselves that decent position. In fact, they're currently tied up with Black International for 4th place with 33 points. SAF behind them by only 1 point. Bloody Head also with a 1 point difference. So this is a very volatile spot. And for 4th, top 3 pretty much secured. A 4th spot can still be anyone's, but PXG Radicals now losing a 3rd member, and that is going to be Barba. And in fact, it was everyone. ITX steps in. PXG Radicals, they're going to eat a fat 0 by the end of round 5.
PXG Radicals just got slapped by 3 different teams in this 5th matchup. ITX, the final ones to take that slap, and I think they are smiling, right? With that 1 kill that they have gotten, Zapnu has gotten a maximum of 2. I don't know exactly who was that first victim that fell in front of them. Was that Batman? One of the Almighty players. It couldn't have been, could it?
Yeah. No, don't think so. I don't. Yeah, no one died. So only PXG Radicals has suffered a full casualty. Everyone else is still alive and healthy. Almighty got 2. AKO got 1. So I guess the last one is ITX. I don't think ITX can make it, but every point that they take away is a point that the teams who are trying to fight for that qualification slots will miss out on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Zapnu though, ITX. Let's see if or not he can climb up the leaderboard just a little bit more. You guys know it's going to be super duper tough in the final 2 matchups in here. But I've got a request, Husky. I kind of feel bad, man. I really, really feel bad for PXG. Can we like reverse that curse or something?
I don't know. Here's the thing about my power, right? I can't reverse it. No, it's like a I don't know. It's worse than a voodoo doll. At least you can pull out the needles and it will patch out the wound. But like I can't. This one once it's out, it's out. And I think on that note, ITX got himself 2 more kills onto AKO Legends.
Yeah, and it looks like AKO's just gonna jump out of the pan straight into the fire. Almighty taking the shots against them. It's gonna be Rosso X right in front of JZ with the sniper in hand. Yes, he will be able to aggress on, but let us not forget, in Free Fire, it's the one game where usually looking down is a little bit easier than looking up, but in Free Fire, you get those head glitches pretty easily when you look up. So him being on that roof does not pay a lot of, assistance or aid on his side. But let's see exactly what he pulls off. Blacklist International. Blanks jumping away. Beautiful jumps. And he will be able to put that distance between himself as well as the players from ITX. The guy survives a tough battle, and ITX pulls no kills off of him.
Wait. Did you see that? Batman just shot Ren down. What happened? So the Batman pays with his life. I mean, JZ and Shira, they got 2 kills on AKO, but that was a very interesting interaction. I never knew that you can shoot your own teammate. I guess now we know who was the one who insulted Marta. I believe it was Ren, and now they both get knocked down by a grenade. This is turning out to be a pretty awkward situation, but ITX, I'm pretty sure they're going to come in and clean, Blacklist International, excuse me, is going to come in and clean up. They're going to, in fact, start with ITX, but Almighty, they will lose 2 guys, and once they bleed out, we will find out who is going to get those 2 points. Blacklist International will get 3 for themselves, as ITX are in a very, very horrible position.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Ren as well as Batman finding out that, it never pays to have any infighting within the team itself. Both of them now staring at the ground, thinking of all of their mistakes that they've made in this particular matchup. And it's just going to be a situation where they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Bleed out. I kind of have a feeling like Ren just turned around and asked Batman, so what if he said something about your mother? And that's what started the whole thing.
and now they both get knocked together by a grenade. It's pretty weird. But I wonder what happened though, honestly. Like, if it was a grenade now, yeah, that I would understand. But it was a gun. Like, I don't know how Batman shot him, but if there's one thing I know is that I learned something new today in the grand finals. And I also learned that Almighty's chances of making it through and qualifying to go for that 4th spot has now dwindled. And again, 4th spot, it feels like we are in the league stage, but with higher stakes, right? That one final spot is the hardest one to fight for. AKO Legend, they also not looking too hot. Argon MY, already losing sparks early on. Now they have to face off against Wills, but I don't think they necessarily have to take the fight simply because they're in the circle.
Yeah, I don't think they need to at all. Views, on the other hand, definitely need to. And the head glitch that we were talking about can be taken by Argon MY's Pedro, but having that double vector in his hands, he will need for Views to close that distance between himself as well as the other players. They have the numbers. He has got the double vectors. He's still in a predictable, unfortunate situation, which he needs to back away from. Too easy, on the other hand, taking the fight up against Blacklist, and it will be Clanks that gets knocked down. Clanks that gets the knock as well as the delete onto IPAN. But how can they now turn things around? Do easy, they choose to run away. Perhaps Fastkill MY can interfere and help them out.
We'll see if Fastkill decides to do so. I think so far Vasco they probably won't make that move just yet, just because they are on the other side of the road. This crossing the road is always the most dangerous thing in Free Fire, right? Because you don't have much to cover your angles, right? The only thing you have are those glue walls, and they're kind of a bit way too precious unless you can get a couple of kills on the way in. So Fastkill is gonna stay where they are, mind their own business. They cannot afford to have another bad round. They're in 11th place with 19 points. So if there's any chance for them to even make 4th place, they need to have an amazing breakout round. But for Do Easy, the fact that they got away is good enough. They have a round worth of leeway, but I don't think Do Easy will want to, cut it that close.
Yeah. Now let's see if or not they will be able to do better than just cutting it close. They need to move on into that final zone, which obviously is a very, very difficult thing to do within this grand finals itself. Argon, MY, Bayfront, they will be blessed by the gods of RNG, but I don't know how big of a blessing that is because Blacklist International right there beside them. The best case scenario now is as Blacklist International makes their way in towards this compound, they get caught out by another team because Argon MY, they've shown us that they can't really sustain a lot of those gunfights in here today. They're not showing up in their best form, and getting taken out at this point is still going to punish them a lot because the 10 more teams still alive and kicking, Husky.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been the kind of the style for the grand finals, where we have a lot of teams surviving until later stages of the game, and it does turn out to be a bloodbath. But at the same time, if you somehow manage to outlast everyone else, you just reap the reward. And Do Easy has been that team. Even though PSG Radicals got the first 2 booyahs, the kills that they got when they had the booyah is nowhere close what Do Easy got when they got their own booyah. In fact, SAF will run into ITX, and Niall, he is completely trapped in Council Hall, and the jury will now give him his verdict, and Niall, he is pretty much dead.
Now let's see if or not he can get out of this sticky situation. You might be right, Husky. Pretty much dead. McRory on the other. Oh, what a jump just to save his life. 191 over 200. Not going to have to worry about anything. But Forbits, on the other hand, does not manage to get away. Nell, not only does he survive this unfortunate situation, he also manages to go in here for a knock. What a punishment Nell deals back. ITX still alive and kicking. And Bloody Heads just surviving the pressure from the blue zone. And they will not have to worry about much because Do Easy takes on the side of Almighty. Tactical Intex gets eliminated by the blue zone. It's going to be Do Easy trying to eliminate Almighty, and yes, they will do exactly that. SAF poking their noses in as well. Do Easy under a lot of pressure on towards the right-hand side. McRory now out in the open. Shah should be able to ask questions, but jumps in too far. Goes in for the prone. Smart idea. Not depend on the glue walls just yet.
Yeah, and this is one of the rounds where Do Easy don't have the full squad, right? Both rounds that they got the booyah, they had the full squad until the very end, but now they had to work with half of that number. I mean, Niall, he's pretty much not dead the moment he got caught in Council Hall. But what surprises me was that he shot Forbis out of the sky like some fly swatter. I mean, Forbis, that was a very great kill. Sure, ITS got knocked out pretty early on, but they got one extra point alongside it. Their hopes of qualifying for FFAC has been completely dashed. But again, any point that you take away right now is a point that people who need it might not get, but Rory would just destroy Baez and Do Easy. They're just down to one guy.
Yeah, Views and Balore thought he could steal that kill away, but a little bit too slow as Let's Go takes down the final player from the side of Do Easy. That kind of ends their run of consistency, but they don't really need to worry about because the ones that are closest to them is PXG, and as we all know, PXG have been suffering a little bit in terms of their performance in this matchup. Fastkill MY with the engagement against Argon. MY might be able to catch them, but Morgana takes out Morgana, unfortunately, with the, terribly placed nade. Braifu now on the ground. Morgana surviving with a sliver of health will be able to recover himself as the blue zone stops in a very favorable position. Blacklist International right outside, but Views as they continue this fight against SAF, they still need to survive. Limit getting taken down. SAF trying to get the dirty done, and it is going to be a good fight between them, but with Mbalore alive and kicking, can he save the team from afar? This sniper can't do much, and Views will fall. Mbalore, one final player, does not do much as he knocks down Let's Go. That's all he manages to pull off as SAF bags those 7 kills, looking for their booyah.
Yeah, this is very crucial for SCF because with that number alone, they have made it into top 4. They have at least secured themselves a qualification slot for the Asia Championship. It's not going to put them too close to the first place, but it's a very crucial round. Like I said, the contention for 4th place is very tight. So whoever performs the best in the last 2 rounds will have the best chance. Bloodyhead gets knocked out, so their chances for round 5 has been completely extinguished. Fastio MY now sees the member of Oregon MY, but Shocks will hunt them down. Cobra with the nade! On to 3 members of SAF, and all it takes is just 1 nade for triple. And SAF, they are out. This is just Blacklist International's day. Phoenix with a second one fighting Fastio MY. These guys are grenade connoisseur, and they're about to get the Kobe dunk. Goku from far range does take out Man Flank and get the headshot in with 3 squads left alive, and 4X-Men Expert now finally in prime position for that first booyah. But can they make it though? Blacklist International in a portable spot, taking off Fastio MY. Maybe this is the scenario that 4X-Men Expert have been planning for to look out for. They want these teams to take each other out before they come in for the final swoop. And Yoon, he is out in the open. And in fact, Fastio has been eliminated. So 4X-Men Expert, they're gonna take on Blacklist International for final circle. Jump out is fake or knocked out. It's a 1 versus 1. Who can do this? Blacklist on the ground. Cobra against Goku. Cobra has the high ground. Goku has to run into. And Cobra wins it out! Blacklist International with a booyah for round 5.
Well played by Blacklist International, but that was the kind of consistency that people were looking for in 4X-Men Expert, and they managed to deliver in this matchup as well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But the overall victors are Jim, Clanks, Manflank, Phoenix, as well as Cobra. Blacklist International finally managing to find a little bit of their old self. But the major question will be, is it enough?
I think it is at least enough to bring Blacklist into top 4, simply because all the other teams competing for top 4 except for SAF got knocked out very, very early. And I think it's also a slight redemption for Cobra, because of one of the rounds of the final week, Cobra was also in this position, right? 1 versus 1, he had the advantage and he lost. But now, 1 versus 1 again, Cobra wins it out for the team on the most important day of Blacklist International's run. I think this is bigger than how it was for season 1 back when they just got picked up by Blacklist. Because back in season 1, you to qualify, for FFWS, you have to win. But this one, you have 4 slots. So Cobra just did his team a huge favor. But with that being said, let's bring back both our fast food junkies, Danley and Holler, onto the broadcast and see what they have to say about my curse coming true again about Do Easy.
Do I have to comment?
I mean, at this point, I feel bad, right, for all of the teams that Husky's kind of putting up on a pedestal, because we've seen them all get knocked down. He's just like literally lining up the ducks and like just letting God or some higher being just take them out and not even giving them a chance. But this is going to make things more fun. I mean, PXG Radicals, they were eliminated 12th as well, so it's not like they got a whole lot of points. So this is going to be a race for first in that sense. But seeing the end, and we just kind of saw 4X-Men Expert, Blacklist International, Supreme Assault Forces. These are teams that are in the top 6 right now. They're really vying for those top 4 positions. It's going to be very, very tight. We are going to have 1 match left. I'm actually going to see how the shakeup actually works, because that was a game for the ages, in the sense that, hey, every team is in play right now. Even Do Easy PXG just not doing so well. All of these other teams actually have a chance.
And sorry, go on, Danny.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're looking at our last game as well for the day, right? We've just finished game 5. PXG got to be slapping themselves, right? I mean, they bombed out again, but apparently it can still get worse. The potential for this team to even make it to top 4 is possible. They can still maybe compete for top 4, but they're basically asking for a booyah. And that's a lot to ask for one single game. And you're competing for that booyah against 11 other teams. And then we're also looking at a potential scenario where we're looking at a new leader on the leaderboard, right? I think 4X-Men, they're close. I don't think they have hit that first place spot yet, because I believe it was about 20 points to even reach first place for them, right? So they're close. It's going to be up to next game for not just 4X-Men, but basically everybody to climb that leaderboard. I mean, it is so tense, and I'm really as a viewer, I'm glad because we're going to be seeing a lot of changes on the leaderboard. There's a lot of rivalries that are going to be happening. But it's also saddening, right? Because there are people out there that have cheered for SAF up until this point, and this team has... I'm speechless. I was expecting a lot more from SAF coming into the grand finals today.
Yeah. And fun fact, if Do Easy gets the Booyah in that final round, they are guaranteed first place because they have a bit of leeway to work with, right? Simply because after round 4, they have 63 points. PhD Radicals only has 47. And with PhD Radicals out so early on, the next contender is Forestman Expert, who almost got a Booyah in round 5. So it's between these two. Whoever gets the Booyah probably would win that $15,000. Anyone else who wants to get first place will have to knock out these two teams first.
And I think we might be able to see exactly that. I mean, one final matchup for 4X-Men Expert, and they haven't picked up their Booyah just yet. If they can find their stride in this one final matchup, what better way is there than to bag that 15k USD, man? By pulling out that Booyah in the final game, showing us that consistency can play out through. But as I say that, I feel like, you know, it's asking for a lot. I hope they can bring in something that they've never been able to do. Remain consistent from the first game all the way down to the last.
All right, so here's our round standings for Game 5. We've got Game 6 coming up next, but guys, we're starting to see some major changes with these points being allocated. Now, SAF, they do come in second, right? I mean, that's some good news for the team, but is this going to be enough to bring them into that 4th place?
It's going to be close.
I think Blacklist International might have put themselves in 2nd place. Maybe not second or 3rd place. I think 3rd place, just slightly behind First Man Expert. So First Man Expert, you plus 13, they have 59 points. Blacklist International, they also have 59 points. In fact, they're tight for a second. Do Easy, they only got 3 points, so it's 66 for them. This is getting pretty close. In fact, I feel like it's a 3-way race right now for first place. PhD Radicals, there's 47, so they're effectively down in 4th, but they're honestly not that safe in 4th place either.
No.
Would that not be one of the most, underwhelming, most disappointing, ever in terms of grand finals for Free Fire, in the sense of you win 2 Booyahs in the grand finals and you don't even make top 4? Like, what a travesty that would be.
Oh my gosh.
It feels like it could be very possible. Like I cannot undo my curse right now. So I think the only way for me to make it up to them is to apply it somewhere else. But I think I'm running low on fuel in that department.
Okay, I need your help, Husky. I need your help, all right?
My help.
Can you please say 4X-Men Expert is gonna get eliminated in the 12th position? I mean, let's try a little bit of reverse psychology here, because once again, if these boys actually bag that Booyah up this round, I think they're going to be able to pull the whole of the MCP majors into the bag. Blacklist International as well as 4X-Men Expert sitting down in the 2nd as well as 3rd spot, tied up with 59 points. 66 points sits down Do Easy at the number 1 spot, and that's not a lot at all, man. Come on, bro. Do a reverse curse.
Here's my observation, right? And I think at least you guys can agree on this, which is whenever I say a team will lose, they don't lose. So I don't think reversing works, but I'm going to give it a shot, right? Since it's the last round, after this, you're probably not going to see me for a few months, so I have nothing to lose. I think Forestman Expert is going to bomb out first. They're going to get 0 points for the last round, and we'll see Do Easy get the first place.
Thank you, bro. Because 4X-Men Expert, man, I mean, they were a team that this was a dream. This is right now a dream run for X-Men Expert, and I think they can do it. But let's talk a little bit about Blacklist International as well. For a team that just did not manage to impress us, we were really banking on them impressing us over in the group stages. They did not. But now sitting down in their 2nd spot after 5 games. And we are on our very final one now, Danny.
Yes, it is Purgatory. This is map 6, the last map of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to our wonderful casters to take it away for our grand finale of the grand finals. Husky and AJ, take it away.
Appreciate it very, very much, Danny. Holler, this is gonna be a bombastic matchup, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We still have not hit the 45k final match in the grand finals. Let's hit those shares out on all of those streams so we can all redeem that beautiful glow wall skin. But as for the final matchup, Argon MY once again setting themselves up to perhaps meet PXG Radicals over at Central. But I don't think PXG wants to continue the flight, do they? Yes, they do. So this is going to be quite an interesting one.
And for the first time in the entire league, Blacklist International did not drop at Moat House for Purgatory. Maybe for the better. In fact, I believe it was 4X-Man Expert that took Moat House. So Blacklist, they find themselves within proximity of Almighty, and I think Cobra did take a couple of shots. No, it was Manflan, because Manflan got shot. But they completely disengaged. And I think Blacklist International, they're feeling really good about themselves. Almighty's chances of making it in the top 4 feels like a dream right now. They only have 30 points, not even close to 4th place at all. So we can kind of safely say that even with a massive booyah, it would take a really miraculous round for Almighty to even have a chance to contend for 4th place. And that also requires those teams closer to that spot to get knocked out early, which I don't think is just remotely possible. So we'll see if Blacklist International will be able to get a couple of points, or at least Almighty, can they take away these points for the teams who want to qualify for a FFAC.
Yeah, in short, they need to take, about 17 points more than the 4th place team. And that's the only way they can actually do anything in here. So I kind of think that dream is a little bit over for the side of Almighty, but I'm, impressed nonetheless with how much they've been able to improve from the first few weeks where they were just really blowing hot and cold extremely, and we weren't really seeing them hit those high strides. Batman has been struggling, but hopefully in Season 3, it's going to be a little bit different. But overall, Almighty, they've excited us in the competition just enough. PXG Radicals, on the other hand, a team that did the absolute catch up to SAF and end the group stages in that number 1 spot. They seem to be struggling in that 4th position now. 47 points when they pulled ahead so early on. So in terms of that mental stress that's on them right now, it's not going to be easy to bag this 6th match.
Yeah, I think PSG Radicals, like what Holler mentioned, it would be a travesty if they finish the group stage in such a strong fashion, but don't even make top 4 to qualify for the Asia Championship. It would be a very disappointing run, at least for these players themselves, right? Because you come in with probably the best chances, and everyone looked at PSG Radicals and think to themselves, right, even if they don't get 1st place, even though they don't have the best day, surely they will qualify, right? Their faces are on the billboard in the game. Maybe that billboard was the curse. Maybe that is it.
Do we really want to talk about which one was the valid curse here, sir?
Yeah, I have to. I need to get this whole thing off my back. I think the billboard is the problem. You see.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I will have to agree with you, man. You paste your face on a billboard and you think the other teams are not going to gun for you. My friend, you are public enemy number 1. If you're capable of turning things around and catching up with a supreme team like SAF, you most definitely are a threat. And which is the reason why when we saw Almighty catch a glimpse of PXG earlier on when they managed to get a knock, those guys went in for the immediate hunt, because taking out PXG from the competition round after round is priority number 1 for all of these teams. So definitely it's not your curse. It's just that things seem to be falling in that way for PXG. Unfortunate. But now as they take the fight up against Argon MY, maybe these are the first 4 important points that they are going to be picking up for themselves in this crucial final round. Number 1 spot.
Yeah, and you hear the nade. That does not take anyone out. You see, PXG Radicals, they are on that 1st floor and they're about to rush up. They should be able to clean up Argon and MY if things go well. Pedro and me both getting rushed. Insanity is going to be first to pick that. And Landmine takes him out. Oh, they step onto the explosion. And maybe Argon and MY, they have set the trap. And welcome for the booby house of Argon and why Barbar is going to come in and get some exchange, but Sparks should be able to pick back Altana more desperately wanting to get that confirmed kill, but it's going to run straight into Pedro, who will bring Rosie and PSG Radicals will be the first team to get knocked out. Absolute tragedy in the final round of the grand finals. Argon and why with 4 kills and they only lose me.
Oh my lord, I am so sad for PXG Radicals.
They actually won't make it.
I don't know, man.
They actually
you
won't
and
make it.
Holler, seriously, guys?
They are stuck. They are stuck at 47 points. They're not gonna make it.
They're not going to make it to FFAC, man. The Asian Championship, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are not going to see one of these supreme teams of the MCP majors that has caught up, that actually managed to take that #1 spot away from SAF, that in their own right kind of dwindled off in the second half of the competition. But, you know, those were supreme performances, reaching up to 599 points in the league stages. PXG Radicals. Oh my goodness. I'm heartbroken, bro.
I'll give you a fun fact. SAF, if my calculations are accurate, they just need 3 points in this round, and they will qualify in 4th place. Because we ended, we talked about this, right? We did a bit of calculations. 4th place was SP, frozen in time, 47 points. And whoever overtakes 47 points right now is gonna make it. SAF is the closest with 45 after round 5.
Well, this is a desperate fight for both SAF as well as 4X-Men Expert. 4X-Men Expert looking for those kills to get the #1 spot, and SAF looking for those kills to move on into that 4th spot, just so that they can qualify for the Free Fire Asian Championship, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, which I think is gonna be possible if they can just avoid 4X-Men Expert in those early stages, move away. Views Aoki knocks down Jemble. The delete does not come through just yet. AKO, but it's okay. We will keep a pause on that AKO. Fight Shah down onto the ground. Ipan as well as Bayet. Ipan should be able to make a play, but Views, look at this. Limit just guiding Ipan towards the rest of the players, and Views turn things around so well. What a play coming through from Limit. Yes, Ipan gets knocked down onto the ground as well, and this is just Views outplaying Do Easy left, right, center, and no, Do Easy, they do not close off this competition in that #1 spot because they've been punished. So this is that opportunity for 4X-Men Expert, that one team that survived the FFMC and had so much of promise as they stepped into the MCP majors, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Almost tasting. They can smell it, they can taste it, but they just can't see it, man. They just can't see it just yet. But once they move on into that final zone, Husky, things will change.
Do Easy, they're not out just yet, but let's say they get knocked out and they get 0 points. Both Forest Man Expert and Blacks International just need 7 points to take 1st place. Again, now we have kind of 2 magical numbers to look at, right? 7 points for either Forest Man Expert or Blacks International, and 3 points for SAF. SAF, effectively, don't even need to fight.
Yeah.
Right? If they make top 5 and they go out, they're going to qualify unless someone catches up. And I think the second closest team to SAF was Bloody Hit, right? But Bloody Hit, after round 5, they only have 37 points compared to 45. It's a tall order for Bloody Hit unless they bag a booyah. But with that being said, this is the final round, and it's also the final stretch for you guys to help us hit that 45,000 views, because you're going to get the Ferocious Ink Glue Wall. We've did it for the first 2 milestones. Help us make this happen. PXG Radicals, their hopes have been shattered, but the hopes for this glue wall skin is still burning. So please get us to that point. We love all of you guys.
Oh, absolutely, man. Argon MY at Central, outside of the next zone, together with SAF Bloody Heads as well. Of course, the one team we've all got our eyes on, 4X-Men Expert. Are they going to be able to squeeze in towards the next zone, not get gate kept all the way through as well? I think it should be quite possible. ITX keeping their eyes on the players of Views, who they desperately need to take down. if they want to just go out without really crying, man, because they are struggling at the very bottom. For a team that was so impressive at the league stages, this must be very, very disappointing for themselves, right? 11th position overall, 28 points from 5 games, and now with potential of getting snuffed out by views, it's tough being the players of Tactical Index.
Yeah, and just look at how calm it is right now, especially I don't know if SAF has been following the numbers, but you know, they just need to survive. And now they're taking on AKO Legends. I mean, this is good if they can get the kills. But if they get knocked out right now, the chances are gonna get extinguished. And maybe PSG Radicals qualified by having 2 absolutely horrible rounds, and that just means that God is on their side, and so yeah, they want to prevent it from happening. Double nade! Just perfectly bounced off the glue walls. McRory makes it happen, but they have not been able to secure the kill. And look at who's on the horizon. It is ITX. And let's see, if they want to get this done, they gotta get this done quick. Daemon has already committed to it, so they need to finish this fight. They cannot go out. Not right now. McRory fights Russell as ITX will join the fight. That's 2 kills for SAF. This is good. They just need 1 more point to be able to overtake it. But can they make it happen though? Because ITX are shutting it the show down. Nah also takes on the challenge, but Shokes wins the fight. Let's go and take out now. They have already made the minimum quota to overtake PSG Radicals, but can they survive this though? Trapped in this building. Let's go on the outskirts. The perimeter is secured still by SAF. Duizy gets taken out in 11th place. Daemon able to rejoin his team, and SAF, they're kind of retreating a bit, and this might just be the best move.
Oh, absolutely, man. And for X-Men Expert, they are just going to allow all of these big dogs to just jump on in at each other's necks and absolutely annihilate each other whilst they come on in, strolling into that final zone and bagging up that booyah. SAF, they do have the vantage point, and they have quite a opportunity to pull the backstep against the players of ITX. 4bits is feeding all of that information back as AKO gets eliminated from this game, and it is ITX that throws that final bullet towards them. And whilst taking that fight, SAF has been scouting each and every one of those players, almighty right in front, so ITX has got nowhere to run. But as I say that, Zapnu eliminates 4bits from the equation. Phoenix goes in for the knock onto a player of the side of Almighty as well. This is going to turn into a 3-way massacre shortly, Husky.
Yeah, and now SAF, they've successfully secured 4th place, 48 points at this point of time. So if SAF gets knocked out, the magical number would be 49. But getting to 49 again, it is not easy at all, because the closest team to SAF is probably Bloody Head with 37, right? So if you want to make it to 49, that's 12 points. So it's still secure, but with how things are looking for Bloody Head in the grand finals, it's kind of a tall task. But at least for SAF, now they just need to hold on. They don't even need to fight. Of course, Zimmer is going to force it, but SAF, the longer they survive, the better it is for them.
Absolutely, man. But can you really play your chances like that? Zapnu, with a lot of pressure here that he usually brings into these matches, should be able to punish Daemoon. And now those players of SAF in the danger zone. They can't even step out. ITX in the same situation, so they can, be a little bit patient. But if ITX starts raining those nades down, that's going to be a immediate GG for the side of SAF. And it's now Blacklist International. Phoenix getting knocked down onto the ground. Clanks scurrying to find him. SAF getting taken down one after the other. And I talked about a grenade, but they bring out the grenade launcher and take out the players of SAF. Tactical Intex, what a play by Shooks. Gets a quadra kill for himself, Husky.
Yeah, 48 points is now the magical number, and I swear to Lord that PSG Radicals will not be happy with the result, because all they need was one mediocre round and they would have locked in 4th place. But man, round 5 and round 6 were rough for this team, and just like that, SAF, who they overtook in the group stage by a mile, won out by just 1 kill. And I think that would be the saddest ending for PSG Radicals, unless someone can get 49 points minimum. SAF is going to make it through. Now we shift our attention to who's going to get 1st place. Easy, Blacklist International, and Forest Man Expert. 2-man onto Blacklist. Mornito is going to lob in 1 more to get a secure kill. Forest Man Expert under fire from Views, and they're going to lose space from the get-go. Argon MY also chips in to take out Clanks. The race for the 1st place is getting a bit spicy, because all the other teams from below are here to spoil the fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But someone needs to save Goku. But as I say that, he gets eliminated by the blue zone. Jabat as well as Rybel. One beautiful nade onto the head of Rybel. Will just knock down his HP. Rybel survives the onslaught as well as pressure from the players of Views. And Malore still trying to make a play for X-Men Expert. They've played passive in here so far, and it has done them quite a lot of good. But now, as Views takes all of these shots against the players of 4X-Men Expert, they are attracting a lot of pressure from the other teams as well, who can hear those gunshots, and a few questions might be asked. Blacklist International, Zapnu takes out Jabat. He's on the ground. No save coming through from him. Blacklist International, Spark goes in for the delete onto Cobra. So that's going to be a sticky situation to deal with as well. Argon MY actually holding on to the zone for X-Men Expert. They're still flirting with the edge of the blue zone. That's not going to end up well for them at all. But Tactical Index as well as Views, they need to focus on playing the next zone. So that's going to give a little bit of breathing room for the players of 4X.
Yeah, and to qualify for 4th place, other than ability hit, Views need 20 points, Tactical Index needs 21, and they both are looking very strong right now. So the miracle is still alive because Wheels have 4 points, right? If they get a Booyah right now, that bumps it up to 16. So they need a couple more kills on the board, and they might be able to make it. Of course, Bloody Hit is still the closest. First Man Expert, the contention for first place might have just been dashed because Blacklist is still alive, and maybe Blacklist might just be able to make it when it counts. Fast and Y going in for the rush, and it's going to be into the compound of Bloody Hit. Can they make this work out though? Because Ali is taking a lot of fight from behind. Cryfu gets a shot on the Shock's face. Shock is going to be nailed and secured by Bloody Hit. These guys, they don't want to be knocked out. They want to qualify for FFAC. This is the most crucial round for these guys. Yun has that info, but he cannot make a move. Now he's going to go for the rush of the bounty. It actually gets him down, but he can use the vibe though. Turns around. Ali with the cover fire finds the second kill for himself. Bloody Hit with Cryfu left out in the open. It's going to give FSK some time to get us a secure points, but Yun's going to be knocked down by Plank from Blacklist International. This three-way fight is going to end in the death of Yun, as Fastkill MY will only have Ali left alive, but he was able to snuff out Cryfu. So Bloody Hit, they're left with one guy left on the second floor.
Well, Almighty's just gunning for that #1 spot by the looks of it, just staying outside of all of these fights. But Tactical Index now closing in on them. They need to be really careful. Views just being pressured from the side of ITX, who do not see that the pressure is actually going to come through from the side of Almighty in a few moments. Look at the double glue wall protection. ITX can't step in. Almighty finally strike. Ren as well as Shira, they get the dirty done. Shook's going to be standing all alone. A 3-on-1 situation. Almighty actually getting eliminated. What is going on? Tactical Index now fall as well. Bloody Head say bye-bye. It's going to be Views taking this fight up against Argon MY. A 2-on-3 situation. Views from the back. Aoki, they will be able to survive. Argon MY finally goes in for the push. Pedro with a beautiful nade onto Limit, gets the knock, and then comes through the delete as well. A double nade play by the side of Pedro. Alforte trades back, but this is a fight that Ambalore now needs to win for the team. 0 kills on the board, and Views get taken out. Beautiful place, but it just wasn't good enough. Blacklist International, they've already qualified for FFAC. Can they back the Booyah as well now, Husky?
And I think they might be able to Pedro. He's so 30 HP left against Man Flank, and he's just gonna surrender himself to the Blue Zone. Blacklist International with the Booyah to close out the final round, the grand finals. And today, we only have 3 teams who effectively got Booyah. PSU Radicals with the first 2, Do Easy with round 3 and 4, and Blacklist International with the grand finale as we draw the curtains with round 5 and round 6 in the hand. Both rounds came down to a 1v1, and both rounds were won by Blacklist International. I think they've done enough for that first place, and even if they did not get that first place, they at least secure. But the most heartbreaking one was how close PSG Radicals was how SAF overtook them by 1 point, and it was how Wheels had a chance. ITX had a chance, but they both got stopped dead right before the finishing line. And I think just by the luck of the draw, SAF actually might have just made it.
I have no idea if or not SAF made it, but you know, a huge question on our minds was whether or not Blacklist International was holding back some of these strats because of how crazy the competition is. And for a team that was rumored to perhaps bag it all at the MCP majors, they didn't do great at the group stages itself. But now in the grand finals, like you said, Husky, I think they have managed to sneak into that #1 spot. But on that note, ladies, German boys and girls, let's welcome back our amazing host, Danny, as well as Holla. Welcome back,
I
guys.
am shocked. I have to say, I did not expect this. Everybody kind of was on the PXG train. They're like, oh, how far can they go? How high? How many points can they score?
Yeah.
But with two booyahs to start off the day, I think everybody was bamboozled by that. Because the fact that, everyone thought that they were going to do well, but the fact that they were, getting a lot of donuts towards the end of the day. And mind you, I love donuts, but these donuts are bad. And at the end of the day, I don't even think they're going to get in the top 4. This is a travesty for this team.
I just want to see the standings. I don't think I want to see, and I don't care about highlights. I don't care about anything else. I just need to see the overall standings and just to find out where everyone is, because it's so close. The competition was so close. It literally came down to this game. I don't know how many games I've casted throughout my career, but very rarely does it come down to the wire like this.
Yeah, and again, SAF needed 3 points, and they went out with 3 points, like precisely 3 points.
Precisely 3 points.
So again, I think, and no, when AJ was covering the fights, I was just focusing on the numbers, right? Wheels needed 20, ITX needed 21, I believe Bloodyhead needed 20, Bloodyhead needed 19, and all these 3 teams got stopped right at the gates. They could not make it because to get to that point, it requires them to get a booyah on top of it, and none of these teams got it. So their hopes are probably dashed at this point. They couldn't break the magical 48. So I still think SAF made it, but now the question is, did Blacklist International do enough for the first place? Right, $15,000. They came close in season 1, I believe, but season 2 probably is going to be their season.
In an unbelievable manner, yes, they actually brought it out, right? They brought the beast out from themselves. And what a change has it been from the group stages all the way down to the grand finals. And remember, we kept talking about it as to if they are able to keep their strats away, manage to pull this whole, strat over the other teams to make them think that, okay, Blacklist, not that big of a threat. Don't really focus on them. Allow other teams like SAF as well as PXG to paint a huge bullseye on their backs. That strategy seems to have played out really well. PXG had a huge bullseye on their backs, and that was proven with Almighty and their relentless chase to get those kills on them. SAF could barely scrape it out through to the end, and Blacklist actually pulled it off. I don't know whether they did it enough for the number 1 spot, but I don't care. I think from where they were in the group stages to where they are now, they have just taken it all back. They have taken all of those bad plays and proven that all out it was strategy. And I think it was a 200 IQ strategy from day 1.
200 IQ.
Yeah, it was kind of a heartbreak for Blacklist as well, because you look in season 1, right? They finished first in groups, they finished third in the grand finals, and they missed out by FFWS by kind of a mile, right? The first place, the winner of season 1 had 96 points. Blacklist only had 55. It was a kind of a 41 point gap. So if they can make it and win this one out, they not only qualify for FFAC, but they walk away with $15,000. It is definitely not as big as a world championship, but at least for them, it is a good. I would say it's a good redemption arc, for this team.
Actually, speaking of redemption arc, I think so far we've only had 2 seasons of MCP so far, but in neither of those seasons have the dominating team during the group stage won the grand final.
Yeah, well, season 1 is kind of slightly different because we had the whole minus 80 point, but yes, I agree.
I guess so, but at the end of the day though, in season 1 though, I really felt like the lead was that big. So
yeah, it was. I think the lead for season 2 was way bigger, right?
Yes.
It's more than 100 points. So I think PHG Radicals definitely deserve a bit more credit than Baby Argon back in season 1. Although they both made kind of a miraculous run in the league stage. But the fact that PHG Radicals set a plus 99 net positive record for season 2 by the end of the first 6 weeks is a huge statement. The saddest part is they were not able to cap it off with a bang. In fact, they ran out of the gas at the very final lap, and they probably did not make it. And that is going to be something that will stick with them as a form of regret for quite a while.
I think this is
one
also
of the craziest stories we've seen in the sense that Blacklist International going into this league, I mean, as Husky pointed out, this is, a top 3 team, right? We expected them to be the favorite going into this season 2. We thought they were going to win in spades in the league. It seemed like they were, they had a little bit of a head start, like the tortoise and the hare in that sense. They kind of took it easy throughout the rest of the league, make sure they got into, the top 8 and as they waited to the grand finals. But they really showed up today. This is one of those things where even in earlier today, we're kind of like, where's Blacklist International? Are these guys consistent? Are they able to compete with all of that? But they were just able to peak at the right time. This is, again, the perfect time. I think they're in first place with that second booyah. 3 different teams with booyahs and only 2 of them getting into the top 4. That's just another crazy story arc. But just happy to see this Blacklist International really pulling it off, but they're doing it with style.
I love how everyone's like already just assumed that Blacklist basically claim that first place.
We can do the math. I've got my abacus right next to me. I'm counting all of the points.
The
I know.
abacus.
We looked at the overall standings by the end of round 4, and Blacklist International, they were sitting, they were contending for 4th place, right? Just barely, with AKO Legend, 33 points for both teams. And I think, at least at the back of my mind, I was like, I think Blacklist International, they probably will make it to 2nd, but not to 1st. And then they pull out a 26-point banger on round 5. Like Hollow said, they peaked at the perfect time, at the time where they needed it the most. And I thought Almighty was the one who needed to do it, but Blacklist International was the one who accomplished what Almighty needed to achieve. So right now, I think Blacklist might have just done it. It could be kind of the early spoilers for the viewers, but if anyone is counting, I think they would know that Blacklist have made it.
I don't know, man. Super duper close, but I think you're right. Make it into the top 3, guaranteed. Top 2, pretty much guaranteed as well. But that number 1 spot, I really wonder if or not 4X-Men Expert actually managed to bag it as well, right? Because they didn't really get that booyah. It was unfortunate. They got taken out in a situation without that many kills on their end this time around. But it was a good performance for them. But to think that Blacklist International would be able to make it back in that very final 2 games, I did not think of it at all. Quite honestly, I got thrown off with their strat within those group stages. At the end of the day, these final rounds, and for Blacklist International specifically, the final 2 rounds mattered the most, guys.
Yeah, I think, earlier on the season, I think we've all got to admit, we did give Blacklist a lot of flack.
Yeah, of course,
towards the beginning of the season, I think. But we did have expectations for the team, and they delivered. But they delivered in the grand final. They said, screw the group stage. I'm very sure that's not what they literally said, but during the group stage, they said, okay, this is not as important. Just make it to top 12. Let's show them what we've got during the grand finals, and they really did it. So I do believe our standings are ready, folks. Are you ready?
I don't think it's the overall standings, but just for this matchup, I think I am ready to check it up. Come on, production.
They're showing this. Okay.
All right. So here are the standings. Hang on. Calm down.
Wait.
Wait, what?
No, just match 6, guys.
Calm down. Overall standings is later. Okay, round standings. 20 points for Argon MY. Doesn't matter. Blacklist International.
How dare you?
16. 16 tactical intakes. 13 for wheels. Looking at the score right now. Do you guys think Blacklist have made it? They got 16.
Yeah.
4X-Men got 3.
Yeah, they did it, man. Blacklist International
they
just
did it.
freaking took the cake on the last day. I cannot believe what I'm seeing, guys. This is crazy. Blacklist International, that number 1 team in Free Fire MCP Majors. You would have not thought of it in those group stages, but they bagged it. They absolutely shut up everyone in Free Fire.
Yeah, they definitely made it. I mean, Do Easy was in contention, but they got knocked out first. For X-Men Expert, they got knocked out, I believe, in 10th or 9th place. PhD Radicals, they somehow found 1 kill for themselves, but it's still not enough, right? They needed a surplus of, I think, 2 extra points. SAF, they got 3 kills and 2 placement points. They're guaranteed 4th place for sure, because Bloody Head was not able to get the booyah, so they can't catch up. Same with ITX, same with Views. I think we already knew. We already know who is in 1st and 4th. Now it's just a matter of who gets that 2nd place and who gets the 3rd.
Who cares about 2nd and 3rd place? So that's not...
If you're looking at that last game, though,
you're
look just
safe.
how crazy that was, right? In the sense that SAF, 4X-Men Expert, PXG Radicals, AKO Legend, Do Easy, all of these guys were like top 6. And the fact that they got eliminated early and the only team that showed up in this match was Blacklist International, I think that 16 points is going to be enough to take them over the edge.
Yeah.
That is perfectly what they wanted to do. This is their strategy, eliminate all those high teams and then just take over right there. And they finally managed to do it in match 6, and that's all you needed. Argon Malaysia, yeah, you did it, but you're a little too late, and I'm disappointed in you, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with 4X-Men Expert, right? I mean, they took all 5 games really well, except for the final one where they played a super passive game. If anything, they have to rename themselves to 4X-Men Passive in the next competition if they want to continue playing like that. Because if only they had gone on their usual thread, they should have been able to bag a little bit more. But 3 placement points. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your champions graphic, who managed to bag it all the way through, other than Blacklist International with Archim, Clanks, Manflank Phoenix, as well as Cobra. They managed to get it done on the very last day, guys.
With
Incredible.
2 booyahs to close out the grand finals at the very last 2 rounds, the most important round of the day. I mean, what better way to close out the storyline, right? This is probably the best ending that Blacklist International could ever hope for.
I think next time, though, they should do it a little less dramatically, I think they want to do things a little bit more comfortably and show up for the earlier game so you don't have to worry about, scoring the last 2 booyahs. But hey, props to Blacklist International. Their strategy worked. This is the way to do it. If you want to, sell seats and you want to make things as dramatic as possible, win out the last 2. And here we go, Blacklist International. Congratulations.
So the strat was to be the dark horse all along.
Yeah.
Take that spotlight off of you, take the pressure off your shoulders and say, all right, guys, let's go into this game. Spotlight's not on us. We've got, technically, some people would say they've got nothing to lose, right? After their performance during groups, but wow, they literally have nothing to lose, but everything to win. And they're laughing to the bank now.
Yeah, let's put this into perspective, right? They gave up $1,200 to gain $15,000. I think they are the best businessmen out there in the world of Free Fire.
Look at them.
Blacklist International. They can definitely be proud. Yes, they are number 1. They are
Including
definitely
the cat.
tier 1.
Yeah. Now I know the difference, right? No, a lot of teams when they win, they show us a picture of their partner, their snacks, their drinks. But I think Blacklist International has an itch. They have a pet cat. I think that
And
cat
they've
was the
got-
lucky charm.
wait, You're forgetting the flower headband.
And the flower headband,
Gorgeous.
yes.
Sorry.
In Chinese belief, we have the fortune cat, and I think that's the fortune cat for Blacklist International.
Oh, goodness. So I do believe we're going to take a look at the overall standings to see where the rest of the players ended up. But man, Blacklist, they literally... I mean, minus the one chill dude on the left side. Outside of that, everyone's super excited. But let's take a look at the overall standings. Who got second? Who got third? Who got fourth? Who is going to be going to the Asia Championships?
Drum
This-
roll.
this-
Drum roll.
be-
Da-da-da-da.
Oh,
Wow.
heartbreak.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Blacklist International, Do Easy, 4X-Men Expert, as well as SAF, the Supreme Assault Forces. They make it through. They will be representing us at the Free Fire Asia Championship. But a absolutely heartbreaking moment at the bottom. 5th all the way down to that 8th spot, I can say. PXG, Radicals, Bloody Hits, Tactical, Intex, as well as Views. They were close. And as a matter of fact, Argon, MY, Ola, they were close as well.
By the way, I said baby Argon as in Blacklist International. I'm just saying. Just going.
It's fine, don't worry.
So, I mean, you look at the standings, this is probably the saddest standings for PXG Radicals, right? They
Yes.
lost out by 3 points. For Bloody Head, I think they can give themselves a pat on the back, simply because season 1, they were basically, the front of all our jokes, right? Everything involves Bloody Head this, Bloody Head that. They're not gonna make it. They are bad. They just are not good enough. Why are they even here? And now they're in the grand finals. Sure, they didn't qualify for Asia Championship, but they got 6th place in the grand finals.
Husky.
That itself is impressive.
I don't recall us being that harsh. That might just be you, but Just reminding you.
Yeah. Speak for yourself when you're.
I have
talking
always
about
been
this.
on the bloody head bandwagon. If anything, I think I've been their biggest supporter the whole throughout, man.
I
But
mean,
you know,
I
in a way, I can agree with you, Husky. You know, the team was definitely given a lot of flack in that season 1. But coming into season 2, at the start of it, we saw them making those crucial mistakes that they needed to patch up, which surprisingly, they actually went in and got done. And I think that's exactly what got them the top 12. That's exactly what got them the top 6. But these are the important top 4 at the end of the day, guys, because they are the ones representing us at the Free Fire Asia Championship.
And I
I'm
feel
looking
like
forward to this.
And I feel like the biggest winner is 4X-Men debuted in FFMC.
Sir,
They come into MCP.
sir, I'm sorry, sir. The biggest winner here is Do Easy, sir.
I
What
was
you
gonna say
talking
Do
about, sir?
Easy. I was like, what are you
No, no,
talking about?
because-
Do
no,
Easy
because for-
probably had the
No,
worst
for me, because for
road.
me, like Do Easy, they have been playing since season 1, right? 4X-Men Expert was not even there at that point of time. So I think this is kind of like their debut, and they got second place,
Fair enough.
which is why. I feel like in that context, they are probably the bigger winner over Do Easy.
Fair enough.
Obviously, Do Easy is also great for them, right? They had the worst result for the grand finals season 1. They qualified in season 2. SAF, ironically, season 1 they ended in 4th place. Didn't get any qualifications. Season 2 they also squeezed into 4th place, and also they won by 4 points as well. So somehow it's like deja vu for this team. But at least they qualified for Asia Championship.
Guys, just let Husky just curse the team into going into Free Fire Asia Championship. We don't need to worry about that. We all know who we want and who we expect to have, and we're happy for. But Husky's gonna do his thing. But man, 4X-Men Expert, I wash my hands of you because Godspeed, man.
No. I believe, you know, Husky has got the power within his voice as a shoutcaster to call out teams, and you know, calling out those teams like Bloody Head, you know, at the league stages once again. Remember the one unfortunate moment where they gave up their compound over to SAF, I believe at Factory, was it? But after that, that just did not happen. And without the curses or the call-outs from Husky, I feel like, you know, a lot of those teams, they wouldn't really be moving in that right direction. But at the end of the day, I have to say, Do Easy, that one team that has definitely impressed me today. I did not see that coming. Blacklist International, to a certain degree, possible, but Do Easy, no, bro. 10 miles away, nah.
Wow. I mean, what a way to end the season, right? Just to have the 2 teams that I think none of us expected to make it to top 4. 4X-Men, average performance over the season, and maybe they've got some consistency. Do Easy. Who are these guys? Before we go though, okay, we have some good news. In case you didn't catch it before. We
Did
got
you
the
guys do
45K
it?
mile mark! Yes! We did it! Yes! Alright, so before we get the 45K, we're going to go through all of them in case anyone missed the codes, so please claim the codes now. This is the 30K milestone. This is for the Dragon AK box. Claim this now. This is not first come, first serve. Everyone can claim it, so don't be greedy. Share it with your friends. It is not
Take a
going
photo
to be
of all of
available
these codes,
when
man.
the stream ends.
Mhm.
Yes.
Bronze altar,
Next,
come on, man.
you got the
We know-
bronze altar. Take a screenshot. Do whatever you have to do. Come on,
Come on, code.
faster.
Come on, production, come on! Be excited, man.
So
Yep,
there
okay.
we go.
We took the photo already. We don't need to dwell though. Come on, 45K. Let's do this. We hit it. Thank you so much, guys. I don't have any glue wall skin in the game. I'm a very sad boy. This is my first one ever.
It's a nice looking one too.
Yeah.
Hang on, where is it?
I like how AJ is so excited. But
Production.
Hey, where's the code? Come on. Oh,
No! There's no 45?
they lied.
Wait, how close are we?
How close
close
are we
were
to
we?
45?
How much time do we have left? Can we
How-
call up?
okay,
Can we
hang
call
on,
up our friends and
they-
just get
they
them to
said-
share right now?
Shh, they said it was very close. How close, production?
just show at the end of the day. Oh no.
No, this is the biggest heartbreak. PXG not making it was not the heartbreak.
No. You can't compare those two, AJ.
Of course I can. I don't have a glue wall skin, man.
You can
I'm
just see
going to
him
agree with
shaking.
AJ on this one. I think that he's absolutely correct in this.
I
This-
agree
This
as well.
is the heartbreak. This is the heartbreak.
I'll take Do Easy making it to the top 4, but this I cannot accept. Where did we go wrong? But thank you so much for all of the shares, guys. Thank you so much for the likes as well. Everything put aside, I think we were really close. What, 43, 44K? That hurts even more. That hurts even more than how PXG got close to the top 4. I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, AJ's done. Any final words, guys, before we close out the stream?
It's the
Before
first time I
bursts
see AJ
into
throw it.
tears?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time I see AJ throw a tantrum, and I think there's nothing else more, nothing else that makes me happier, you know, considering that I have been taking the brunt of all the negative flack, you know. Now as I see AJ, you know, be a crybaby, I'm happy. I'm happy.
It's the glue wall skin, man. I thought I was actually gonna get something clean, bro. It's okay, but thank you either way, guys. Thank you.
Hola?
No, thank you everyone for tuning in. I mean, it's been a journey, and it's been, you know, we've seen everybody just participate. We saw some high-level Free Fire. I was very excited to see all of that, and it was a very dramatic grand finals day. What could you ask for? Just a great session, and I was happy to be part of this MCP Season 2. But you, Danny, any final words for you?
If anything, I would love to tell everyone that hopefully we get to see you guys at the Asia Championships. Hopefully. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast. That's going to be the conclusion of the MCP Majors Season 2. Hopefully we get to look forward to a Season 3, but until then, we're going to hop on, and I think we all need to sort of calm down because we've gone through a little bit of a moment. So thank you, Hola, for being a wonderful partner in hosting, and thank you to our wonderful shoutcaster and shout cursor, AJ and Husky. See you guys.
Tonight, we were born for this fight. We'll be glorious tonight. We are champions. We'll be warriors tonight, and like warriors we'll fight. We'll be victorious tonight. We are champions. We were born for tonight. We were born for this fight. We'll be glorious tonight. We are champions. We'll be warriors tonight, and like warriors we'll fight. We'll be victorious tonight. We are
New kill leader right on that point. Bayats is looking to just fight this one out. Rin is trying to do what he can. Bloody Heart Mark is just trying to turn this one up. X-Spot does get the knock onto Bayats. The blue walls are going to be used. Jembo is looking to do this, and Metric has now been eliminated.
Will says no because he just blew out Ember Lord. The fight is not over yet though, because they will continue that aggression as Aoki will get the first finisher. The rest of SAF, they're scrambling to get to safety. Damon is trapped, but he does get a knot on the way out. As Will, they will also have 2 members on the ground, but Aoki is on the case. He's gonna revive the rest of his team. Across the freeway as well. One of the most dangerous spots on any map is crossing a freeway. They might not be cars, but people are aiming at you with their guns. Good nade from Cobra as Barba pulls out their grenade launcher. They will both trade 1 for 1. Cobra with a grenade, bouncing it off.
To just rush out, they have to get into the circle as quickly as possible. MTX Man's High getting some shots in. Bayats is looking to go down. He just needs to reload the gun. He does get the kill. He eliminates Do Easy. Nice shot there by Man's High.
I'm just surprised that Do Easy didn't gatekeep. Instead, they decided to just push out of the safe zone. And the moment the circle moves away, Do Easy are like, crap, now we have to make something happen. They go in for the push, they get wiped out. But look at Metrics. I mean, Mantai in the best possible position.
And it looks like Phoenix is just looking to just stick on the outside, trying to get some shots on. And Ramiel with a killing spree. This guy is turning it off. Black International just trying to stay alive with a grenade! With a 3K there!
Cobra is going to drop that blue wall. He has a lot to work with. 16 more blue walls to slowly protect himself. In fact, look at this guy. He is just running up the high ground to get that vantage point, and now he has the upper hand against him.
I mean, Cobra has just completely turned this game on its head. He's just completely dominated with 9 kills. This is a performance, you know, that... I mean, we expected this out of Cobra, but just a little bit more of these, you know, in the fact that we did not expect it in the last game of the league.
2 hours later.
Cobra just completely turning it off, destroying everybody, just outplaying everybody in one-on-one duels, and it's up to Zipnu and Cobra for the final kill of the league.
5 hours later.
And Zimnu, he has no blue wall, so he has to outrun this, but man, it's hard to go uphill against the blues of Cobra. He's gonna peek his head up, but he's not taking any chances. Zimnu actually sees his links, but he's not taking the shot just yet. Cobra now goes for the swing, but he's not gonna get the kill. Drops the blue wall once more, 7 more to work with, and Zimnu is gonna play that healing game.
Approximately 10 hours later.
But it's not gonna be easy. I mean, that blue zone is making life super hard. They still have a bit more time to work with, but Cobra gonna use his last nade. That one goes wide. So there's still a very intense Wild West showdown, but it is time to see who is the eventual victor. Cobra has the high ground, but Zimnu